Now we're just going to be enjoying some good ass guilty gear. Starting off tonight, it's going to be Flam Lord D19 up against cakecraver. Shouts to Flam and the Shredder cosplay, by the way. If you know, you know. But cakecraver, long-time Jeeker over here. Previous graduate of the Jeekly Academy, but now we're going to test our metal out here in the open.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see how this goes here. Shouts to Flamlord as well from my side. That is one of the local homies then. An incredibly wonderful individual there. Very much loves Potemkin and hope he can show us what he's been cooking in this version so far.
Well, we're cooking more. Pot buster on round start. I know, I'll call it out. Ganyon said, hey, if you're putting Flam on stream, we're going to see a very specific type of gameplay, and I think I'm already seeing it right now. I'm going to keep back this. Jacko trying to pull up for possibly another grab there, but this time Cake with the same side counter hit got the bot already set up as well.
Yeah, this is going to push you where you want it to be. You know, Potemkin right now having to spend that burst already. Ooh, good 3K kick here to keep themselves stuck in the corner. Okay, good throw tech as well. Flamlord definitely very big on throwing as a reversal option on this Potemkin. So let's see. Oh, but the 2D snaking out, and that's a new change as well there. No longer safe to lows on that Hammerfall.
Nice stuff here. Oh, try to go for that charge dust, but Flam was ready with a throw and a dust back of our own. Nice job getting that jump in. Cake spending that burst, saying, hey, I feel like a hero right now. Flam about to get up there in that meter as well. Going to start with the YRC, but unfortunately no punish after the block. Flam able to take that round.
Yeah, a bit of an oopsie of that 2S choice. Curious if it was an intentional 2S. They call something out there, but Jacko 2S definitely very specific button to using in pressure then. But cakecraver up to a pretty good start here in the second round. Getting that burst out of Flam immediately here. A lot of these falling S's options. Good to the low. But 6H then 2 clips him out with that low. Here comes the mix.
Got you here in the corner. Flam very patient here, building up that meter. Blocking out the 5D as well. It's going to be that on-hit throw. Cake trying to be a grappler of our own. Going to be able to send you through this Elysian driver. It's going to be close. Not enough to kill Potemkin. We got a lot of HP, so Flam got another chance here on the other side.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how he's looking to respond. Will we go to the HPB? Nope. Come out here so far. Good far slash pressing, and they just clip her out in there. Air going to the skies. Gets out of the corner at least. Good spot to be in. That minion's behind you. One come from the skies. Well, actually, oh, they didn't. I thought they actually kicked one in the sky. It ended up not being that simple minion delayed strike pressure be able to do it. We already got round 3. A little back and forth starts off. We'd love to see it.
Oh, unfortunate miss on that 2S. I wonder if Cake is probably playing another character at the moment. You know, that's definitely like, you know, because you pointed out earlier, Jacko 2S, very niche normal, but other characters can try to get away with it. In those situations, going to be knocked down with these slide heads. Flam getting a little comfortable on that full screen. Try to go for the 6P. Cake already looking for it, though.
Oh man, there's a bit of dust pressure. Can't take the corner. Pressure coming in. 5D overhead. I think we go through the wall. Oh, just out to break the wall. And we're seeing that a lot more in this version here. Kind of with the change to, you know, the wall break in this game. Like, while you can still break with super, positive bonus will start reeling in. But watch Jacko's meter here as we get through. She is basically going to get nothing as that meter penalty from the super comes in again. And good stuff to Cake. They're keeping it mostly clean once they got Flam to that corner and gets that first game.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, I love how players have been adapting to that, right? Because it still feels like, you know, a good percentage of the time it doesn't feel at least wrong, right, to go for that super hard knockdown. But it is something to point out. It's interesting. Of course, you can get your burst back, but in that situation, yep, Cake was already capped on burst, so there's probably some logic to trying a different approach to breaking that wall. But hey, they got the game, so can't scoff at that. We'll see what we got here in game 2. Flam a little more patient here on this round start.
I love that patience here, just kind of waiting to see, you know, essentially when you have that first game, like, you definitely can send something out there, but being able to adjust at what your opponent is willing to show you. And there is the Flam special. I have never met a player who wants to get the held 5D more in a response, and great utilization of that spacing. Cake walked right into it here, but Game Plan pushed through this corner as well. It's minion time. Get ready to block for a hot minute, but a good throw there on that held 5D, and it's Garuda time. Oh, good jump out then.
Yeah, wasn't able to PRC that throw. A big change that I didn't realize was going to mess with my gameplay personally. But man, I've been trying to PRC some throws again. I'm going to keep it real. Look at that. Gigantic high. Goes away a lot quicker now as well. Cake blocking this one out. Gets a chance to fight back. Has 100 meter. And is going to try to cook here after that counter hit 5H. Elysian driver spent. Cakecraver getting this round.
just is enough. Good stuff here, Cake. Good recognition as well, just to end with that super. Keep it simple. Make sure you get what you are looking for. Going to the second round here again. We've seen Flam being a little bit more patient on these round start choices with Potemkin. Definitely has access to these giant buttons as well, but we're all kind of feeling out this version. When is the right time to press certain things? Though I will have to say, pressing Potemkin 6H feels usually right a lot of the time. So we'll see how often we can take advantage of that. But this tick throw set up here from Cake. Keep pressure going, but the gold burst is set. I love that option. He's rid of those minions as well. A good jump in here so far from Cake. Keeps him locked in. Side switch as well. We're in the corner now. It could be very spooky.
Nice stuff. Getting these throws out here. Oh, no. The heavenly Cake too comfortable there in the air. Flam showing you that is Potemkin's zone. Now, it's a lot of damage, literally more than half the HP, but we're still in this round.
Oh, that's absolutely. I love that there. And I like that choice to go for the double butt slam there, but then kind of choose a different normal option. Seeing if Cake was willing to answer, maybe try to fight back the original choices then. But another reversal throw, put into the corner. Get rid of pressure time. Another jump here as well. Flam definitely pretty darn married to that Potemkin buster on throw pot here as well, but good pressure. Cake is just playing, keeping it very safe and taking advantage of those fuzzy jumps as well. We'll have to see if Flam can at least adjust to some of these fuzzy jump options. But Potemkin definitely capable of doing that, especially if you are willing to send that pop buster, being kind of ready to be able to RC and then maybe respond with a 6P if they're like a falling button fuzzy jumper kind of player. So we'll see if Flam has those ones in the chamber then, but Cake so far looking pretty in control.
Nice stuff. But I got to give the comment right back to Flam though. That HPB pretty nice. So maybe Cake gonna be a little more grounded, feeling a little too comfortable there in the air for a moment. Nice 6P there in the round. Oh my god, you can pick up from that far away.
It scoops, man. This thing scoops. That thing is such a crazy good tool, giving him so much better advantage than with that 6P tool. Again, another 6P, and he was ready. He was so dialed in to get another heat knuckle. There we go. Good jump over as well. Flam a little bit too early on the throw attempt, but this time we were absolutely ready. He will not be deterred if you hit it from him once.
Nice job blocking that same side. The bot to keep it safe. Oh my god, Cake! Too safe in the air. At least they felt safe. Flam saying, how many times we got to teach you this lesson, old man? And this time it's actually going to kill you.
Oh, like I said, guys, shout to Flam. This is a homie from the local, and he is someone I love putting on our stream for any of our matches then, because he is such a good heart player, and will definitely take advantage of a lot of Potemkin's good tools. So far here, but Cake looking pretty darn solid despite dropping that first round. They do have the 2-game lead as well, so it would definitely be a bit of a mountain for Flam to climb back to get in on this set, but so far, pressure keeps on going, then gets that kick canceled, then sets up another throw, but we were a little too far away for that to do anything.
Okay. I like that Cake giving up the space, but using the bot still from that distance to keep Flam in the corner. This driver going to be able to kill with the wall break damage as well, but Flam will have some resources there on the other side. You got to use them perfectly, though, because Cake has a perfect leading into the set point.
2K, 2Ds keep on coming as well. Cake just seems picking a lot of really good space pressure so far. Almost trying to apply. It's so funny now, like Jacko is already so comfortable in sending out 2K, 2D for a lot of their neutral choices. That Hammerfall, not as good of a tool to enter. It's Kidder's willing to do that, but pressure keeps on going. No real meter for Flam to work with. That's going to be a little bit careful. Cake sitting on 50 as well.
Okay. Flam getting caught by that counter hit 2D. Cake had the bot to back us up. Didn't get the whiff punish on that throw. Flam gets a chance to fight out. Goes for the PRC buster. But Cake able to react to that with that jump back.
Cake looking fairly ready there with these jump fuzzy timings that, 2K just going to catch. Has to get a full combo reversal throw. It's going to be very spooky right now. With the gold burst, yeah, you got to be careful when your opponent has access to that full burst. Gold burst a lot easier to input this season. Could have actually potentially won it with a RC after, but ready for the mix. Multiple butt overheads. Sends out the super. As long as we're blocking, we should be fine. Goes over it, actually, and Flam is going to get a game on the board over Cake here. 1-2 now. No 3-0s in our first set here. This is what we're looking for. This is 2.0, everybody. We are here to have a great time, and these competitors are already showing us some really fun new stuff with this version. And my favorite thing, Jeek, about this version is keep an eye on the round timer. I feel like the average round goes so much longer than it ever did in the previous versions.
No, it definitely does feel that way. I've seen some games already where I'm like, wait, that was only game 1? I mean, even this one for Potemkin, man, this guy does a lot of damage, but Cake out here keeping you in the corner with these bots. I like that press out with the 2K. Was able to take out the bots, but Cake was then using the normals to keep this Potemkin down here. Looks like we're going to get that. Oh, I like how we're linking the super here, not even giving you the wall splat. So Flam going to miss out on some bursts here.
Cake just looking fairly in control as well, and I feel like it's pretty easy to oopsie into Potemkin fairly often, no matter what skill level you are at. This character incredibly good at essentially answering with a couple simple options. What a route from Cake to able to get the wall stick there as well. Positive bonus rolling fairly quickly here.
Oh, actually spaced out the Garuda. Okay, we didn't have the meter there, but I'm get scared when Cake's in the air. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, good job blocking that 2H as well. Planet had a lot of HP left then. Oh, tries to send it out. I respect the attempt of the late PRC. The 2K already being dialed in, though, to punish it out. Cake here now on set point.
Nice stuff. Oh, there's that full charge that Flam said. I got one more in me. But the counter hit 2D going to be answered by the burst.
Absolutely. That Cake getting left in his corner here. Good 6B attempt. Already kind of had that Knuckle dialed in, but luckily going to put Flam through the wall one more time. Another Elysium driver, a little chunk of damage. Positive going to start rolling in, but I'm sure y'all have an experience in this as well. That tension bar not going to move so much here after spinning it out. Ooh, a bit of an IED attempt that got messed up then. And there's that new Potemkin 6H. This button, you know, people joking, this is the, Tenack players call us the footsies button now because he just moves so far forward with it.
Okay, catching with the low, the on-hit throw. Flam getting clipped by that 2D. Has a lot of meter to spend. Cake, please do not jump. Got you with that frame trap kick. Flam getting thrown here again, but with the red RC spend. Oh, and an early cancel on the super. Flam was close to that burst, but not going to get it in time. Cakecraver going to be moving on 3-1.
Yep, there it is. I was saying, I'm pretty sure Girth-chan plays Potemkin, but Girth-chan versus Andredlon here. We're to see the new Ram as well. New Ram, shouts to SQ winning TNS this week as well with the new Ramlethal. This character does not let us, she skipped a beat, Jeek.
I mean, yeah, I've been seeing Rams all across the board cook, so excited to see what Andredlon has for us. Got you already knocked down with those cat scratchers, but Girth-chan, good job on that tech throw. Holding on to this burst. Andredlon going to get you with the meaty Ondo, taking you to the corner. Nice stuff here. Good Ramlethal pressure. The H-sword comes out, and with that 5D, we secure the wall break.
I love this pressure running. Andredlon was not willing to send any of the swords then on that pressure until it had Girth-chan in the corner on this Potemkin. It's a good YRC, at least has to spend off that meter, but we are absolutely sending out the Superman, take him to the skies, and oh, there it is. Good Kara Buster. The range on that's crazy. I don't know if you've been hit by it yet, Jeek, then, but the kind of jump scares you get now fighting Potemkin of like the walk forwards into Kara Busters, like he'll go so much farther. Good empty block though, but the armor saving him on the way in, and despite looking like all Andredlon in that first round, Girth-chan comes out on top.
Yeah, they did take away the armor on the pot buster, but not on that heat tackle. And Girth-chan definitely showing us that we love using that move. That being said, Andredlon unfortunately wasn't able to link that 5K like we wanted. So Girth-chan turned into a back throw incident. The burst does get spent. Andredlon going to use that S-sword delay pop, but Girth-chan with a really good tech.
Okay, just getting 50 here as well. When to spend 50 here, I'm kind of curious eventually what the conversation will be when it comes to, you know, RC and certain things. They're going to go through the wall here. Positive going to roll in, but that meter penalty still applies to the RCs as well. Not as bad if you are able to do the fast cancel. And there's that new change to the S sword, giving essentially a hard knockdown, but Ram still gets mix off of it. So good luck guessing, everyone.
Sending you through here. Girth-chan patient with those resources. Andredlon can't get even counter hit here. Oh my god, if that flick was able to connect. Now you got to be careful about the chip as well. Using that FD to try to push back this pot. Oh my god, the double jump gold burst. Gonna knock you out with that heat tackle. Man, Girth-chan loves that move.
Yeah, and you know, Girth-chan kind of really showed, because Andredlon was definitely taken to the skies fairly often with a lot of their choices here. And if you block heat tackle in the air, it is still Potemkin's turn most of the time. So I think maybe if you air IB it low enough, or I think the deflect shield in the air will still give you the 0 landing recovery. So maybe you can RPS a little bit heavy if you want. But yeah, just very well controlled there by Girth-chan. Taken to the skies as necessary. But you have to say, though, they were also ripping it early. Like, you saw it early and whiff a few times. And if they whiff it, if you're close enough, you are, of course, able to punish then. But yeah, pretty strong first game from Girth-chan, just kind of showing that Potemkin is still very much here to play. Toned down in some aspects for sure, but this character definitely is not anything, I think, lower than a high tier right now. But game's still very young, still very early. Let's see what happens when we get into game 2.
Definitely getting a chance for both players to show off some moves back and forth. Girth-chan with that preemptive 6P. Andredlon probably going to layer this S sword pressure a little differently here. I gotta say, Girth-chan very good at teching the throws and also pressing out of some of this sword pressure. Andredlon, oh nice, able to go for the Kara flip off of that Rekka 1. The 5D does get the pick up on this H sword. Andredlon got some good pressure.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen the Rekka 1 into flip. That was pretty slick. So really impressive. Andredlon brings some good pressure. Ooh, kind of a weird air hit, but there's that armor still working so well for the heat tackle again! Oh, and the safe jam, not quite so safe when Mortobato is in the ready. Oh, catching up the stuff side frames of the HPB. Willing to spend the burst as well. You better be right. So far looking good, though, for Girth-chan.
Bro, only a pot player would burst there. Nice stuff. I honestly, at that point, if I was on Andredlon, I'd be clenching, but you know, wiping our brow after getting that round. Good stuff. But Girth-chan out here to put you under the ground, I feel like. Trying to flick you back, but Andredlon with a good jump in.
I love it. You're seeing Girth-chan too, taking advantage of a lot of these kind of like FD jump breaks to kind of mess with the timing of when they're going to end up landing here. There we go. He puts him all the way to the corner here again. Ooh, end up pressing here, though. Going to give a round back to Girth-chan. Going to round 3 here. Love to see both these players come to each other's play style so far, but I'll say right now, like, Girth-chan's style is giving me very much like what car crash neutral would look like for a Potemkin. You know, it's very much like willing to send it, use out those few armor moves still have access to, and of course take advantage of that new 6H.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, especially the Hail Mary heat tackles on Andredlon. Trying to get as much damage as we can when that gets blocked. I mean, right now we're getting a lot of damage here, sending this pop through the corner, but a lot of resources on Girth-chan's side. Very patient here. Delay PRC on that heat tackle, just trying to cheat forward here. Is able to convert into that hammer fall. Oh my gosh, Andredlon. No, the deflect shield red RC from Girth-chan was able to read out that defensive mechanic and then secure the kill.
Yeah, you couldn't see it there, but I put up the salute there for Andredlon after that deflection. We've all been there as well. It's like, oh, okay, they might go button. I'm gonna hit the deflection on the second button. They did a single button into empty, and then of course Potemkin, probably one of the best, quick punishers on that mechanic. Trying to wait for the whole sequence there, but 2-0 so far. Lean toward Girth-chan's side as well, but Andredlon is definitely keeping this close here. You've seen a lot of what new Ram can do, taking advantage of those swords, still has access to a lot of mix then. Essentially just some of her routes have been toned down. That's kind of like the nature for most characters in this game right now.
Using that double jump, trying to dance around these far slashes. 5H in the Ondo, trying to get some of that far green pressure up, but a back throw here, Girth-chan. Then you got to keep those meaties true. Andredlon gets a chance to fight out of that corner here. But good press on that delay Rekka 3, and you get a throw for it too.
Yeah, Ram is just willing to go to any deeper in the Rekka chamber than the first one. First Rekka -8. I think it's -20 something without the guard crush part being in. So definitely got to be ready to fuzzy mash if you were on the defensive side. But good stuff to Girth-chan so far. Just looking very much in control and still taking advantage of that really high defense from Potemkin. Great flick on the sword toss as well. Damn, they were ready.
Oh, the safe jab lets you block out that gold burst, but doesn't get you're not able to get that punish, or at least unless you're planning for it. Andredlon high up in the air here, but there's that heat tackle that Girth-chan likes to use. The safe jab comes out, gets the counter hit, 2H for the punish. And with this meter as well, actually doesn't even need it. Girth-chan going to close out that round. Move on. We got Envy and Cloned about to start off.
Let's go. Millia Slayer. Definitely, I imagine a matchup that you know, last version, you know, I think the being wrong felt pretty darn bad for the Millia side. I'm pretty sure it gets there as well again, but the biggest change, and unironically, both these characters being heavily affected by the universal close slash anti-air nerf, essentially. You know, these two characters pretty synonymous with pressing close slash when they are underneath you. So definitely kind of see how often that comes into play. But good air-to-air route from Clone, by the way. Those JKs doing so much work.
Yeah, I felt like she was even trying to stop the Dandy Step in time to bait that burst, but Envy was able to get it out here and then get a bunch of throw pressure to follow it up. Has 50 tension to spend. Good block on the Bad Moon, I gotta say. Fast RC to keep yourself safe here. Clone pulling up with that Mappa Hunch, but Envy gets a punish.
Yeah, and there you're seeing the nerf right now to Mappa Hunch, then a lot more minus on block. I think, I'm not sure if from all spacings right now, but definitely hard to do it. But last Horizon was ready. We had 100 meter in the chamber, and this might be the end for Millia. I don't think the damage starter scale is gonna be enough. Yep, not even close. She is made of paper, and the round one goes to Clone.
Man, I feel like Clone purposely saves the tension for that. Like, whether that's optimal or not, I think that's what she does, and I'm here for it. H-disc rather. Gonna get followed up by that JS. Envy gets a wall break here, clapping right back here against Clone. Doesn't want to give her any chance to build up any tension. We're just going to be building up our own. And because we didn't have that meter penalty, we're actually sitting here on 100 tension after that positive bonus. So Clone definitely has a lot to chew through. Septum Voices linking the 5K. No chance to play as Envy closes out the round.
Great answer back, and a perfect as well. Getting a perfect against Slayer can be a bit tough. Obviously, if you can run a lot of mix on him, be able to go there. Good gold burst stopping out this pressure from Clone so far, but the far slash was ready, and a little bit of the early cancel. Then get another sequence here. Looking for another reset again as well, but had that PRC to keep the POW bunker safe, make it a little more real. Good attempt to get that pick up again, but now we're putting Clone back in this blender. Can she guess right? Overhead is what it is. It'll put you through that wall. Gonna send it out with the winger here. Get some positive bonus rolling for you. Get some of that burst meter back then, but not gonna have any tension to work with for a little bit.
Oh, I like that P mash right there. Was able to catch Clone's backdash. A little bit of an OS there from Envy, keeping the Slayer in the corner. The FD trying to push you back, but this Millia will not get off of you, it feels like. Going to use the fast RC to keep that Iron Savior safe. Now Clone holding on to this burst. Needs a good chance to spend it, but Envy just mixing you up. Try to bait it. The flex shield.
Oh my gosh, this is so close. Okay, we're gonna get the confirm. I almost didn't know what part I could jump in on there, because like if it could be a simple drop into also a Clone game win. But good stuff to Envy there, keeping it controlled. But yeah, this deflect shield comes out, and unfortunately not gonna connect. Yeah, just delayed enough to get Clones right. And obviously not have to see your burst, then we're in a very interesting version right now. Right? We have access to this new mechanic with counter blitz, but no one's really quite dialing it in fairly often. It's kind of kept mediocre at best for right now. So essentially it's like, do you want to spend half the deflect shield? But when you do, no burst option. And speak of the devil, thank you Envy for showing off that new mechanic. The best part about it, of course, that if you don't break the wall with it, you are getting a hard knockdown.
Nice stuff, and Millia loves those. Unfortunately, a little too spaced out. Wasn't able to confirm that 2D hit. Cloned. Very active as well on her side. You see the JKs, the 6Ps. Trying to keep this Millia down. This Slayer doesn't have to stay grounded in this matchup. That being said, Envy getting some knockdowns here. Good just block on some of this H-disc miss. And a throw after that PRC.
Clone showing you that she has watched the anti-Millia video. Ooh, the BRC. Oh, what a block. Good press so far. Can't catch you slipping right yet. Oh, but there it is. Frame traps it with the low. That's going to definitely be a dead Millia. 6H to break it. Round one of game 2 here in Clone's favor. But a good far slash here from Envy. Going to get that knocked out off there. But a good 5P press actually stops it. Going to force Envy out to spend that burst. Gonna get some of that meter back right now, but even if you get cloned in this game, you're not gonna might not be able to see that burst in the next round. Definitely could be spooky.
Nice job. After that first Bad Moon connects, that's the high up Bad Moon that gets you a little bit better Oki. Nice change there from Millia. I like how, oh my god, anti-air 2H. We lost the anti-air close slash, but 2H, hello?
Yeah, I guess I've ever seen 2H smoking like that before. Goes for a bit of a reset. I think they're going to get the kill. Definitely should be enough to do it. And we were just sending out the bunkers, showing you who needs loops when I got meter to keep on bunking. Good stuff, the clone. A game on the board for herself, and we got 1 apiece for our 2 competitors here. And yeah, even with a character like Slayer against a character like Millia, this still took about 40 seconds for this round to finish up. I swear, we were seeing like the paperweights versus the heavy hitters lasting 15 seconds to 20 tops in the previous version. So I love we're getting a lot more of this back and forth right now. It's making Strive a really, really interesting game.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to watch. Also a lot of fun to play. I think, now I'm not sponsored to say this, but I think the game is still on sale, y'all. So if you're watching this and you're having fun, it's like 20 bucks to get in, I think. So would love to have you. We got the tournaments for you. Oh my god, good conversion off of that trade hit. Because Envy was in the air, Clone was just able to slam that far slash after, get the conversion and the super wall break.
Yeah, that is new. That new kind of like, I'm gonna call it birthed 6H from, you know, Slayer. Kind of has a new utility with the essentially like the latter half of the hit. So definitely great trade combo. Then a little bit better sequences can be picked up here. Try to stick to the sky. It can be so tough to try to chase the Millia in the air. And as Slayer of all characters too, Clone definitely showing you why she is one of the best on this vampire character. Ooh, this is smart. Oh, but the backdash is so ready then. And another reset here.
Okay, great damage. And he was able to build up some tension here, but the backdash and the bump ahead from Clone, catching it, is going to close out that game too. Envy did have that 50 tension, but didn't want to telegraph spending it, was looking for a chance to try to get out of this pressure, maybe the old-fashioned way without chunking that meter away. But Clone was already ready for it, caught your backdash, closing out the game.
Yeah, definitely. Envy, you know, looking fairly in control for how, you know, kind of terrifying it can be to navigate around. You know, essentially it's like the, you know, I'll call it the mosquito, though I these days Millia is definitely doesn't feel like a mosquito character anymore, at least in the previous version for sure, against you know, the cannon that is Slayer. So being wrong definitely hurts. Good route here and get that guaranteed build up on the bite for the universe counter. Good throw tech though. Throw teching will also break out that buff from Slayer. Good block on the overhead, but a good run up throw, get you another knockdown. That overhead into the disc. Good block on the low though. Clone is so ready for these.
Yeah, Iron Savior, no meter, that is punishable. Rule number 1 about fighting Millia. But Envy's still going to get some throws here, still in this game right now. Trying to mix you up with these compels. Actually frame traps you for a second there with the 6H and gets a lot of reward for it, but corners herself on that burst. But the super from Clone. Ah!
If all of that was intentional, we all got hit, you know? And if that wasn't intentional, I think we all got hit. So that was so terrifying. The good stuff to Clone, knowing they had access to that meter. And that is one of the things where essentially you cannot super RC anymore, but that only applies to supers that have invincibility on the startup. So Slayer's not having that essentially allows him to still use that as a mechanic.
Locking out that H disc. Checking with the 2P. Okay, it's going to be the short mappa here, trying to catch Envy pressing. Not today, though. Envy very patient here in the air. Clone only needs to close out this one last round to stay in this game. I love how even though the Bad Moon whiffed, we used the PRC to convert. Anyways, did we just throw 6K?
I didn't even know you could throw 6K. Yeah, maybe it's a startup thing. Did she lift the ground yet? But a dash through with the clone slash. Good pickup so far from Clone. And I feel like in the previous version, but we were ready. The counterplay being shown here. Envy, ready to finish out this route. Question is, will Clone be willing to burst the sequence? Gonna hold on to it. Wasn't able to build the 50 though. Clone still alive, kind of back to neutral. It's gonna be terrifying.
Oh! The Flex Shield to push back this Slayer here, and the JH Mortar Strike. AC 130 above. Envy closes out that round. Still set point for Clone.
There, but hey, look at close dash anti-air, still definitely possible. Just doesn't hit to the heavens like it once did. Good routing here, so Envy gonna push this Slayer to the corner. Great for a little bit of mix. Real deep 2S there as well, catching any fuzzy options. But actually gets the S follow-up there, just nice and out of the sky. A bit of a reverse 5D, still hits on the same side here. Good damage, damn near like 70% on that one combo here. Envy down to just a little bit left and finds a 2K. Gets left side switch again. Go save outside low. Good YRC stops that sequence, but the 6P was ready into the disc super. Not able to connect though.
Oh my gosh. Nice stuff there from Envy. Was able to get that H disc set up to close out the round. I would do the replay, guys, but my mouse died. So let me get the cable for that. But awesome game right there from Envy. Hold it down while I find a USB-C, Ganyon.
All good. Yeah, no, getting a game 5, would love to see this here. And I think we're getting a lot of great examples of essentially what each of these characters kind of got or lost in this version. You know, seeing that Bad Moon knockdown looking a lot more plus for what Millia is looking to do. Slayer kind of having to change. And unironically, it's a little bit harder for Slayer to get into some of these pile bunker loops. I know there are some new routes being posted up. Shout out to all the wonderful hot players who are putting out a ton of early 2.0 content here, helping all of their other fellow, you know, the Slayer bros, the Slayer sisters, whatever you want to be. Get ready for this new version. Envy here, trying to find the sequence to get in. Deflection going to pull Millia away. JH getting a weird kind of hit, but not a full conversion. Same side overhead. Push you all the way to this corner.
Oh, but the whiff throw. Clone was ready with the far slash after, but got a little crazy there in the air, and Envy was able to capitalize with his Seth and Voices, taking you down to the corner. Actually stole the corner with that JH and baited the burst. Envy on set point here.
Like... That's one of those moments where you're like, there's no way you burst with a little HP, but like a lot of times certain characters like really cannot deal, or essentially cannot catch Millia. A lot of us can't Millia in this game, so I can feel like Clone wanted to keep this Millia in that corner, but it's looking like such an Envy route, and we don't have any burst to get ourselves out of the sequence. No burst, no deflection option here. Almost got that last hit of the Bad Moon, which allows for that new OTG route, but a good burst here from Envy. Pushes Clones back to this corner. IDJH then puts you through the wall, send out the super. I don't think it's going to be enough quite to kill it. Actually, no, it's going to be enough to get it. The Guts Crush coming through. Enough multi-hits to do it. I don't deserve that right now. It's fine. Ooh, Crawm with the Unika. Unika, another character here, reaping the benefits of essentially getting a new move in the buff 6th age, which now has a projectile hitbox on it, allowing for new routing, new setups, new ways to essentially get like meaty sliding lows as well for like plus 12, I think even. So let's see what Crawm is willing to show and bring in for this set as well. Already off to the races here. canhyrti, another Millia on the screen as well. Definitely a character which, you know, unironically, I have to say, like, I played a little bit of Unika as well. Definitely was not the biggest fan of this matchup. You know, Unika, cannot take the skies. Essentially, you kind of have to play a good spacing, but this pressure, once she has you locked down, can feel so egregious with that guard crush projectile.
Nice stuff here. Crawm going to be closing out this first round already, man. We were talking about the rounds taking a while. But man, not when this Unika is getting what she wants out here. Catching with the far slash, canhyrti. Gonna be here in the corner. I like the dead frame with the JK. Crawm already having these setups ready on lock as well. FD trying to keep you back, and it pays off because it was able to get you space from that overhead. But Crawm just keeping our turn. canhyrti gets a chance to play.
Yeah, that finds up in the corner here. Could be a little bit tough to get out, but a good air throw. We looked so darn ready. Good use of that 5D into the quick RC, breaking it with the empowered laser. And I have to say that might be our quickest like game of the night so far. Crawm just absolutely running it here. But there's one thing Unika is not lacking in. It is damage. This character is dealing out damage like we're still in Season 4, Jeek.
Whew. Yeah, I mean, you can't let this Unika do what she wants, man. She's getting those Kara dash cancels in the corner, just keeping that turn up over and over, especially getting off of that H follow-up. Can be pretty scary. But good stuff out here. canhyrti does start off the round with the Iron Savior. Going to burst you back here.
Dude, Crawm's routing is looking so good despite these changes here. There's the newest one as well with that. Essentially, you guys used to have such easy kind of like dang near corner, even without using Wall Assault in the previous version. So, but taking advantage of that new empowered overhead, which does give her a hard knockdown. Let's sure get up in the best. But that JH hits so high up. If you try to IED over, a lot of times it can clip you. The empowered Mega Deathbuster, more than enough to do it here. And this first round of game 2 going to Crawm again. canhyrti definitely finding some moments to get their sequence looking for here, but sends it out on an Iron Savior at round start, and you are rewarded with losing 60% of your health bar.
Man, now that's the Millia HP I'm used to seeing. Does get a Capel here to punish out that far slash. Wanted to go for the winger, but Crawm able to stay up here, avoiding that super. Luckily, we didn't get punished too bad for it, but immediately that overhead into the RC gets answered by the burst. canhyrti still trying to dance around here.
Oh, rather go with that close slash anti-air, but you guys seen a bit of it. The proximity will still come out, but the upwards hitbox is not the same anymore. So definitely, you know, kind of a bit of an old, I would say maybe a Millia habit. You definitely will get moments where you're going to, of course, get your anti-airs from close slash. It's just not going to be as like, you know, just do it essentially as it once was. So really good stuff there. Crawm just navigating this matchup very well, which, and unironically, I think it's the matchup that probably is slightly Millia, you know, leaning then, though, of course, you know, Millia not the biggest fan of making you actually block normals and try to put you in the blender, the left, rights, and such. So, yeah, here we go. Oh, media burst there. Crawm not wanting none of that.
And immediate burst right back. Same thing with this Millia. Hey, you do not want to be in the corner against this Unika, but what was that? The JH? Nice stuff doing that cross-up overhead here. canhyrti trying to FD you back. Crawm keeping that turn up. Yeah, you are going to be minus on that gun dipper. Does get counter hit. Tried to keep the turn. Capel getting a pickup and the far slash link after. Good stuff.
Okay, OTG with that 5H, sends out that follow-up charge shot there off the 5H press, but another 5D RC to be able to do it. End it with a quick 6H into that DP. It's so funny, her new corner optimal, essentially off of close slash, is literally just close slash into 6H DP like 2 times now. Like, and it does way too much damage, feels like that. But a good 6P answering that, you know, Unika here, definitely, you know, despite that sliding low, very much a mids dispenser for a lot of her pressure sequence, so.
Oh, was able to weave out that burst despite the tension spend there from Crawm. canhyrti actually gets on the other side to punish out that DP. Cool stuff right there. H-disc mix does get blocked, and Crawm weaves out another DP. Any hit will kill at this point, even just a straight far slash.
Absolutely here. Good stuff. canhyrti getting the knockdown they're looking for. Keep the same side here once again. 6K gonna get that another knockdown to the reset. YRC stops Millia here and now pushes to that corner and gets clipped in the toes, and just like that, Crawm is gonna take it. You love to see that. Geo, another character who didn't get a ton of crazy changes, but like essentially like she is a character who I think plays his version of Strive very, very well.
Yeah, definitely the hype is up. The stocks are up on Giovanna, and you're right. It's not anything super crazy, super big. In fact, if I understand, she's actually having some trouble in some matchups. Shouts to Leo. But MjKurase doing some good corner pressure here. Let's talk about the Johnny as well. Trying to go for that 6K and getting that counter hit. Is able to trade. Wow, a preemptive 6P to keep this Giovanna here. But good block on that overhead finer. And a jump forward to try to get out. But MjKurase with these anti-airs.
Ooh, drops the fast cancel attempt there. But does able to get it here on the second one. If at first you don't succeed and you got the meter, definitely give it a try again. Good space survived by MJ. Holding out, not going to get killed by these mids, but that dash throw, Giovanna so good at essentially pulling up right in front of you when you least expect it. But then Macro going to get that land into that super. Giovanna experiencing a new change as well, that essentially even once you spend under your, you know, buff points of the half tension to full tension buildup, you still get to keep that buff for a set period of time, even if you spend the meter. The good YRC going to push MJ back here. Not a lot of health to work with. Chip can definitely potentially do it here. But a good 5P actually stops the flip there. Good stuff to Kizzaar, keeping MJ on his toes. He spent the burst and didn't get the round. This game is looking pretty Kizzaar leaning right now.
Yeah, unfortunate stuff, but both players so good with those anti-airs, speaking of. And then Kizzaar still stuck by that card. That's the thing about up backing some of those card pops, is that you can still be in Johnny's clutches. Oh, trying to do the fade away finer. Catches you on your run up here. Kizzaar trying to build up some tension. Catches you with the same side, but stuffing you out again. MjKurase doing pretty good job with that, but Kizzaar does get a chance to pull up and get some throw, some strike throw coming out here.
She had a close slash there to hit, but a little bit tough to confirm. MJ here had 100 spend, gets the vault toss into the PRC. Another safe jump again. Kizzaar sitting on 50 themselves. With that 5H, sorry, the 6H there, really, really great recognition then from MJ. Didn't even need the super to be able to take us to a round 3 already of our first game. We're at the top 24 qualifier here, so the level of competition already heating up a lot as Kizzaar gets MJ put to this corner. Great IAD sequence as well, but a good dash up into that far slash. Gonna keep you guessing then. Guard, crush pop. There is that new side switch in Senga. I don't know why he has it, y'all, but he's got it now.
They just giving everybody everything nowadays, but that's the gear I love, y'all. Getting caught by that K-Finer, trying to bait out that burst. Both players with a lot of resources here. Kizzaar was able to hold on to that 100 tension buff despite spending some on FD. I appreciate you pointing that out, Ganyon. It's crazy how long it lasts, but there's a nice hard knockdown here for MjKurase to try to close up this round unless Kizzaar has something to say about it. But it's going to be, I think it was the 2S to start that one off. MjKurase finishes off game 1.
It's great to see MJ pulling up in here again. Definitely a very fun player to watch on this Johnny. Has been playing. I can't remember if he played someone beforehand. I feel like I might have known him for a different character, but I know when Johnny came out, he was on the Johnny train right away. So definitely very, very hyped to see. I believe he was also at Slashback as well. Shouts to all the wonderful regionals that have been happening this year already, and especially cool for Slashback running it on that 2.0 version, despite it only being out for 2 days prior to that bracket happening. So really good stuff, but a good start so far for MJ. Get that hard knockdown here. Oop, watch your toes, though. Gotta go for a bit of a jump cancel round. I wonder if there's some thoughts, maybe do some burst baiting there, but MJ is just putting out this wall right now for Kizzaar. Not able to find the way in, but the overhead coming through. Not gonna break that wall here quite yet.
Blocking it out here. I like that air stall just a little bit to get around MjKurase's 5k. Does spend the burst right away. Doesn't want to let this Geo cook it all, but with that counter hit far slash, Kizzaar going to do exactly that. Going to take you to the wall and send you through it. And I like how we waited till we got the 100 tension first, because we're going to hold on to that buff for a minute here. MjKurase also having 100 tension here.
She is so fast when she has 100. Like, you even breathe on the dash macro and she goes full screen, it feels like. But you can get that. He's back to neutral standpoint. No meter to work with quite yet. Gotta be very careful then. MJ still has access to it, but we are dialing in these 5Ps. Geo saying, who needs a 4-framer? 5 is more than enough. But once again, far slash round start getting so much value here for MJ. Get that throw reset. Another card pop. Push it to the corner already, though. This is Johnny time.
Bursting you back. 6P counter hit. Gets an, that was a pretty good conversion for just that 6P. The burst's going to keep you away. But, man, still pulling up with that far slash. Kizzaar just putting ourselves where we want on the screen, man.
Gets that wall set, do a little double chave as well, build a little extra meter, get into positive here, might be able to at least build up to 50 after enough of a pressure sequence coming through. And in the old version, this would have been a game for Kizzaar with that 5D, but the meter wasn't quite there yet. Push it into the wall here, send out the J. Not going to be enough to kill them, but this is going to be a hard knockdown. They have to deal with potential Johnny mix, though, Kizzaar just have at least 50 to spend.
Oh, man. Ganyon, it was all down to that 5D, like you said. Kizzaar was really close to building that 50 with that double shave, too. So, unfortunate stuff, but it's going to take that one in the chin and keep it rolling. Good counter hit combo here. Got MjKurase on the wall. Going to get that burst, won that wall splat, but Kizzaar not upset about that one. No meter penalty on this positive bonus, so we're going to go up to 100 pretty quick here. Trying to get a whip punish far slash, but MjKurase fighting back.
Oh no, gets clipped by the pop here again. A bit of a backdash from the corner, probably not intentional. Blocking it out here. After into the low, very spooky. Attempts to do the side switch with the flip into the RC for continued pickup here. And you got to spend that burst, otherwise it's going through that wall. But Two's going to catch you. Ooh, into a fast RC flip as well. Okay, the Giovannas are already showing off some of these new routings here. She kind of got some weird combo changes coming into this version then based on some of these like changes to 2H and all. But a a fast PRC cancel into that 2S. Gonna net Kizzaar a game back, and we got one apiece.
Yeah, both these players are fighting tooth and nail to get every lick in that we can. And Kizzaar was able to come out on top this time around. Definitely like how we're using the meter on Kizzaar's side now. That's something that you have to be wise about nowadays in 2.0 because of, Ganyon's been pointing it out, that meter penalty, but also with Giovanna having that nice buff and Kizzaar trying to use it. But MjKurase with a good round start, got the card already on you, throwing you into this corner. The overhead connects. Trying to still pull up, though. I like that.
I actually loved that card placement. Able to do the up finer as well, which would essentially catch you both fuzzy jumping and even holding there with that proc down. MJ, such a strong mastery of this Johnny. Push to that corner here. Overhead. Oh, no one biting quite yet, though, but the health bar is so low. I doubt we're going to be spending any burst right now unless we can fight back. Naturally, we quite can't. The throw is going to seal out the round, at least, for MJ. Here we go, getting into round 2. 4 players then. I like how Kizzaar takes a little bit of space here. Already has MJ pushed all the way to this corner.
Oh, the counter hit here. Kizzaar spending that burst after seeing MjKurase pull up. Building up our own tension. No, we're going to spend it, trying to bait out that burst, but MjKurase very patient with it. Oh, but the far slash, man, that button is active.
So active as well. And so often you're like, okay, I think she's done well with many kicks. There's always one more kick in the chamber, it feels like. So Kizzaar gets that positive bonus rolling in here. There's that good jump cancel route. If you are a Giovanna player, no longer do you have the simple red wall assault routing. Take advantage of those 5K jump cancel routes to still get that great corner carry. But MJ, not deterred quite yet. Already has Kizzaar pushed to this corner here. A good, wow, a 5H press too. We knew MJ was going to be pulling it back right now. Let's give it the anti-air 5U. No full pickup though, but a good 2K press.
Bursting you back here. Got that vault toss here. Kizzaar gonna build up some tension. Gonna decide to spend it too. Once that hard knockdown to try to mix up MjKurase on the other side. MjKurase will have that 100 to fight back with though, and pretty close to that deflect shield. Gonna see what we got. A lot of resources on the side of this Johnny and a counter hit to start.
And great recognition there, MJ. Before, you know, you saw last time he wasn't able to throw out a card, but able to get the Joker trick one off that sequence. Good IAD routing here, keeps that situation. Plus then, and I love how MJ is attacking some of these fuzzy defense options here from Kizzaar. Definitely what you need to do to be able to break into that top level in this game is recognizing what is my opponent trying to do to stop what I am doing and how can I fight that. With kind of making it look very similar to what I am normally running and doing a sequence. And MJ just seems so in control for the most part of this set, but we'll see if Kizzaar can answer back, get to a game 5.
Oh, both players spacing out our normals here. Kizzaar trying to clip you with that 2D. Does get you to the corner, but MjKurase, man, we're such a high hit percentage on these 6Ps, and that cross up in Senga gets the corner pressure for us. But Kizzaar, that was a really cool mix-up.
Yeah, it was darn nice here. Again, good against IBFD, but even with you IB or IBFD, Giovanna's drill kick, she goes nowhere. The 2K into that 6H routing, that OTT stuff here. Oh my god. Okay, that I have not seen that one yet. I was very curious what the mix-up was going to look like here. Vault deal, not going to get punished quite yet here from MJ. Good frame trap option with that 2K into the 6K here. Couple close slashes, keeping you boxed in right now. Catch 2 on holding up again. Guard Crush coming through, spends up the card. No IED this time, just keeping it simple. But there's the IED this time. The instant overhead coming through with that TK. But close slash Ashley clipping MJ as what they look to do after the vault. And Kizzaar finds a way to get that round, but it was looking so MJ in the beginning here.
Okay, dancing around that far slash. Definitely don't want to be hit by Kizzaar pressing far slash. It's high kill percentage when they do that. Pulling up with these close slashes, trying to bait out a throw here. Kizzaar getting counter hit here though. MjKurase staggering out that pressure very wisely. Catches you on that overhead finer, and it's going to be Kizzaar sent through here on the super.
Get a little bit of positive bonus raining in for MJ. At least get that burst bar filled back up here. Simple IGA, but the double overhead coming out. Sends out another card here again. Tries to catch any kind of fuzzy jumping or maybe match then. No full pickup. I don't think we'll see MJ spending out burst quite yet here. Not quite. Blocking out. Good. That dash block into the throw was so good against these mids dispensing characters. Being comfortable with taking some space on their minus frames can sometimes give them a bit of surprise that you are trying to pull up here after their sequence. Good throw tech.
Trying to pull up here. Getting FD'd back after that close slash. Counter hit far slash coming out for Kizzaar here. The burst from MjKurase does connect despite these bait attempts. Catches your backdash. Pulls up, but too eager to try to get that close slash. Good throw here from MjKurase. Keeping you in the corner. Oh!
Oh, Rising JK actually clipping MJ, but I don't think Kizzaar was quite ready for that to actually hit here. Vault deal. Not going to take it in advantage of then. Good. I love that. Cancel keeps the pressure sequence going, keeping Kizzaar locked in this corner. But MJ, one good mix to potentially do it. They have now 50 and a full burst as well. Gold burst gets spaced out, and MJ runs the pressure sequence you need to not only space out that reversal super as well as the gold burst. That was so for the winner's side. We got classified on the Giovanna and Joe Brownie on the Jacko.
And as this match is loading in, guys, big shouts to ScaryEsq, doubling the prize pool during that intermission. We're up to $100 in this match, Reno. Thank you very much for that, homie. It's so generous of you, bro. Definitely appreciate that, man. But here we go, guys. You're going to see it on the bottom left of the screen as we load into this match. Definitely excited to see what we got. Now, this is a top 8 qualifier here playing for this $100 prize pool. Classified up against Joe Brownie.
Joe already getting pushed to this corner right now. Class is just so good at running you down. Tries to send out the empowered flip, then gets blocked out, but no worse for wear. Great air IB on that minion. Then good ID time. Whoa, the Jacko, the rare Jacko 2S sniping you out of the sky. Keep that pregnancy in, but now you're stuck in this corner against Jacko. Now you want to be good IAD out from Classified. Being clipped right now, a little FBRC down. Oh, TGC coming in. Oh my gosh, these micro staggers right now from Classified makes you shake in your boots. But a good air throw by Joe Brownie, showing you that they are so ready for someone Classified's pressure.
Oh. Getting a counter hit fearful. Whoa, weird stuff happening right there. Classified got the cross up, but Joe was able to weave out that 6P regardless. Strange stuff as we got this Geo in the corner. Classified blocking out this pressure. The red RC from Joe to try to keep this turn up, still blocking it out. The BRC drift down, though. Joe spends the burst.
Both held by pretty low. Drifts through, actually crossed out the projectile, crushed the projectile, I should say, with that drill kick then, but Joe able to land in time and press cover that recovery. What a close first round between these two. Like I mentioned earlier, I know these two have had a chance to play multiple times and likely in some long sets as well. So understanding each other is a good sequence then. Ooh, bit of a potential new route then, but a drop, but good. 5, I should say 2P into that stagger throw pressure then. But Giovanna's so good. And there's that new Giovanna 623S going so much higher, going to the moon as well. Try to clip it out then, but a good fuzzy mash here from Joe Brownie. Gets his turn back.
Red RC to try to close out this round potentially. If Joe gets to live, we have so much resources to spend, and starts off with that Elysian driver. Classified blocking it out. Didn't get the whiff punish, but does get the cross up to close out that round.
Shoutouts to the new version, by the way, with invincible reversals of all kinds now. No longer being able to be canceled out, even if you got the extra 50 behind a super. So Classified, great routing again, doing about almost 50% to Joe, pushing them to this corner now. Good job blocking out the thing again. I love that instant overhead here. The FG coming through so heavy with that JK. BRC keeps the combo going here. Good space 2D, a good throw tech from Joe, at least keeps them in this round still. Guess it definitely has the advantage then on the knockdown sequence, but a good reversal throw. Oh, sorry, super. Gonna go ahead and clip Joe out from any kind of mix attempt, and Classified, despite getting taken to round 3, gets game 1.
Nice stuff out there. Whoa. Okay. Another slug of a match out here between these two. Joe, unfortunately, I wonder if that was supposed to be a safe jump, but maybe it was just a little late or something, but Classified, definitely feeling good about that one. Just going to spend that reversal and get through here. I mean, despite that change on the RC on the reversals, actually, hold on real quick. Look at the prize pool. Another 50 rolling in. Thank you very much, Rebecca the Sorceress. That's very generous of you, homie. Thank you so much. Shouts to the players who get 100% of that prize pool at the end of this tournament tonight. But we're not even qualified for top 8 yet, and we're getting this high. God damn. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, Rebecca. Another wonderful local homie of mine then too. Shouts to the Green Bay FGC. Definitely one of the best in the business here, but good sequence so far from Joe Brownie, looking so much better in this game 2 so far, having Class push all the way to this corner. Oh, no means to quite work with though. We'll play on a couple of these normals there, but no player willing to overcommit too much right now. Oh, and actually the RC ends up being what clips there on that 2K. Gonna push Joe away to this corner here. No wall stick at least. Leg pressure here again. Oh, good fire for machine out here. Joe thinking that he was done, but the air super not going to connect. Able to block it out here.
Even that 5H safe with RC. Got the bot to follow you up behind as well. Joe Brownie got all the little goobers to keep it going. Couldn't catch you in the air there, and Classified with that 2D counter hit from full screen, it felt like. Closes out the round with Dog Dart. Awesome routing.
Yeah, we love that. 2D counter hit, getting that Chavez into essentially a great pickup with a 6-2-3. So there we go. Good pressure sequence here again. Classified slowly and slowly worked to this corner. Oh, but we're keeping it burst safe as well. Joe Brownie showing you they're so ready to be able to handle any of your roast meter options. And a good chunk of damage. Not only did you get the burst here, but doing about 40% in the process. So a good far slash get ourselves started. Oh, 5P counter hit that if you get a little bit of a better route into that close slash. A good 6P answers out that drilling dog kick again. A 6P right back at you, showing you I got one of those two here. Joe push to that corner. ID gonna be blocked out so far. And on the end of their turn, we just send out a quick super on your, like, oh yeah, it's your turn, buddy, go ahead and take it. Just kidding. Pulls the current out underneath, and Classified gets another game on the board. Right now, looking pretty darn strong here against Joe.
Strong stuff there, man. Now, once this replay's over, I'll be able to see who Joe stayed on. I'm kind of curious if we ended up staying to that Jacko. Of course, that's who I know Joe for, but does have some secondaries. But yeah, we're going to commit to that Jacko out here. Getting pressed back on Classified. Taking space with some of these micro dashes and stuff as well. I like that from Classified. Never just full on blocking, right? Always trying to take that space back and use the defense as our offense. Getting clipped by that 2D though. Here in the corner, Joe's got the bots to follow up. Does the unsummon to get some of that meter back. Classified fighting out.
There you go, but good pressure here from Classified. Ooh, and great extensions with that held 5D, getting that good air hit, and a nice shot. That's off a throw, by the way. Look at that damage.
Ooh. Yeah, you gotta be careful about those, man. Joe with all this tension as well. Clipped in the air with that 5K, but hey, a little too aggressive with some of those 5Ks. Joe's going to answer back with that driver. 50 more tension to fight with as well. Classified, got to be careful here.
Yeah, it's so funny watching these sequences. I'm so programmed to be thinking about, okay, do they spend the extra 50 on the super to keep it going? But you can't do that anymore. Even if you get the hit, you can't do the super, essentially like unscaled extensions that were available in that previous version. But Joe here looking much better so far in this game 3. Sitting up around at least over Classified, but so far fairly in control. Burst meter slightly in the advantage, but a good IDJH over. Gonna go ahead and push Joe all the way to this corner. No full pickup option here. Kind of works out a little bit better for again. I feel like we're in a version right now too where if you are not breaking, if you want to spend that meteor on breaking, definitely be good to keep them boxed in, but a good super stops this side switch attempt here from Joe Brownie, but that 2K, the classic Jacko 2K, able to fight back so darn well.
And we're so patient with the tension as well, but too patient where Classified gets a chance to fight with that 6P. The cross-up does get blocked, but the shimmy earns a counter hit here for Classified. On set point, all of a sudden, both characters basically full on that burst. Joe just got it. Using that FD to try to keep back this Giovanna here. I like how we're trying to fight back out being preempted, but Classified trying to whiff punish you.
Good hold up here then, but Class just doing so good at keeping Joe stuck in this corner. Just boxing him in again. The IDJD keeps him Giovanna a little bit more plus there. Let's see what's gonna use the gets the jump cancel off the 5K to keep the sequence going, and Classified showing you exactly what you can do. You can take away his back. Here we go, y'all. Get into our other top 8 winners qualify here. Inter off to a really good start right now, taking advantage of the C, taking advantage of Mr. Dolphin. Missile's going. Oh, but a whiff on that IED down heavy option again. Gets into that meaty throw here, putting Crawm through the wall. Get that positive ready working. And positive, once again, you know, only really essentially affects your tension building, essentially, if you have spent meter to be able to do it beforehand. But good job here, Insert. Using that meter ratio keeps it burst safe again and takes a dang near perfect in our first round.
Awesome stuff, man. Insert. It's easy to get pretty far up in this bracket, so saying, hey, Crawm in my path, I don't care who you are, I'm going to take you down. Now, big shouts to predictions, by the way. Medi is running those right now. So vote for who you want to win with your channel points out here, or who you think is going to win. Nice pressure here from Crawm, keeping it down with some of those H follow-ups. Catches you with that Michael Sword insert with the up back, but actually gets anti-aired back down, but nice backdash to get a back throw incident for ourselves.
But good set up the super here. Not enough to quite kill Mei. The super definitely packs a pretty good punch, but more so you need to get that empowered behind it to really see the damage coming out. Gonna put Crawm through the wall here. Once again, good chunk, but not enough to kill. We'll allow Insert to play a little bit more on the safer side, build up some of that meter with that positive bonus, but a good 5k actually stops out any follow-up here from Insert. Crawm answering back, holding onto that burst as well is so big going into this round 3.
Nice stuff here. Unfortunately, didn't get that 2H follow-up afterwards. Insert going to use that volleyball to get some Oki, but Crawm with the on hit doesn't fall for that throw, was ready with the tech. Blocking out the stagger pressure from Insert, the PRC to try to mix you up here. Does get a DP. Crawm gets out of the corner.
Get that knockdown here, sets up the meaty beach ball. For me, good far slash press from Crawm. Clips Insert for trying something quite there. Not sure what they end up doing. Oh, IDGS did not end up connecting. Tries to send out an IED into J to at least keep it meaty, but ends up safe jumping there, the DP option, and keeps it burst safe. You know, if he would have bursted earlier, would have been baited, and cancels out with that RC into the super, giving game 1 to Insert.
Awesome stuff. Insert going to be able to get this game 1, but big shouts to the votes out here. 81% of the points are in on Crawm, so we got some Crawm believers. Was able to take down a round right there, and that was only game 1, so already having a lock on how Insert wants to play potentially, but not surprised that Mei was able to claw it out and close out that first game. We'll see if we can keep it up here. Insert definitely wants to try to qualify to get a piece of that prize pool up here in the top 8, but Crawm going to try to keep you down.
Yeah, we'll see how these players adjust here. Going into our second game now. Insert definitely showing that they're, yeah, and it feels like it's kind of up to, you know, Insert to keep their pressure state. Oh my god, that was so spooky there. There are options where I know that up Dolphin has the ability to be burst safe, gets the back hit. You know, it's so funny now. Everyone's like, yeah, they took away Slayer's Pile Bunker loops and gave him to Mei. But good sequence here. Doesn't want to break the wall. Actually, might have been able to stick and get the kill, but at least has Crawm stuck in this corner. But we'll go back to more of that neutral point. Sliding low. Gonna get that double close slash routing here. Hard knockdown with that overhead. Tries to go with a simple 6H cancel for the throw, but it ends up being blocked out, and the 3K RC into the 5D. Not enough to quite do it, but gets it into the overhead kiss. Good stuff to Insert, looking so dominant so far in this set as we get into our second round.
Oh, the counter hit 5H. That Dolphin cancel, unfortunately, didn't get the full combo we expected. I like that patience there on the drop to just hold back an extra moment to see if Crawm went to try to spend the burst in reaction to that combo drop. Red RC to try to bait it out here. Crawm not falling for it, but does have to take the damage, though.
Yeah, it's the worst when characters have these like guaranteed burst safe spots in their routing, and you know when you're playing against players of this level, they are constantly dialing in those micro delays to be able to do it. But a great 5K press stops out on the empowered laser, air blocks on that overhead. Just gonna go ahead and keep his Unika plus, but the patience from Insert not overcommitting and finding the right moment for another 5K puts another game on the board, and Crawm is going to have to reverse sweep Insert here on this Mei. One of the better Meis to do it for sure. See if they stick with this Unika. Maybe something else in the chamber, but I can definitely see being the right choice. Yeah, I'm going to stick on that Unika here as we go into our third game as well. These players starting to see that pot build up, and they want a piece of that pie.
On up, gets a throw here on that empty Dolphin. Blocks the cross up. Good defense there from Crawm, trying to 6P out this Mei that's so airborne, but Insert giving Crawm a hug out here, but a little too aggressive on the pressure. Gets a DP out, but keeps this Unika in the corner.
Yeah, there's that good old 3K here from Mei. Good, ends up blocking out that reversal attempt here from Insert. Slide no, not going to quite connect. Good job not overcommitting from Insert's side. But a good 5P anti-air. And here we are seeing that new route. Goes to simple drop. And I like that. Not choosing to break the wall. Having to play neutral with Mei would be so spooky. just gets a quick FRC into that damage they're looking for. Insert now sitting on set point. Crawm's going to have to dig deep if they're going to want to keep themselves here in this set against it, but definitely Insert, we all know, an incredibly strong competitor. Definitely you very much earned to be able to take them out, but it's still winner's side. If you lose here, you still get a chance from the loose side of the bracket, but Crawm spinning out that burst, maybe the last burst of this top 8 qualifier. Not going to break the wall with a super, sit on that 50 to work around a neutral.
Raider see the Chief forward. The YRC gets spent from Crawm to stay in this round, but that counter hit from Insert is going to be enough to close it out. Our May moves on. Crawm moving through this bracket, but going to have to finish so on the loser side.
So, cannot wait to get into our first set of winners finals here, Jeek. Let's get to it.
Here we go, guys. Starting off our top 8. Classified in Jack, but I do want to do another big thanks to Backpack and the Backpack Brawl, Patriarch Panda, for that massive raid starting off this top 8. Thank you very much, y'all. Please show them some love, show them some support. And also shout out to these players, Classified in Jack, longtime entrants out here to the Jeekly. Now, I know you guys probably been hearing about this Happy Chaos Infinite. How could you not? Right now, Jack got you stuck in the loop here in the corner. Classified looking for a chance to get out, but Jack not letting you.
There's just this added level of thing you have to consider with Happy Chaos now, is not only can he set out these portals, but he can choose to essentially not shoot through them as well. So definitely a bit of a mind game could be built then. Jack trying to off with a 6P. Classified taken there. Bit of a trade hit, though. Definitely works in favor of Jack. Jack, oh, Classified gets that burst. Tries to keep going there. Go to the 623S. The overhead ends up being blocked out. Keeps them plus. But this incredible dash blocking puts themselves in Classified face and takes out that first round.
Trying to stub you out with that 2K. Getting our gun out. Classified taking that chance while Jack couldn't block to get you in the corner and sending you through. Going to be building up 50 tension here in just a moment, but no hard knockdown, so Jack gets to play neutral here. Hits you with the curse ball and stuffs you out with that 2K again. It did get nerfed a little bit with that vertical hurt box, but still just as good trying to stuff out opponents.
Oh my gosh, and he's shooting with portals now. We thought everyone was probably praying for his downfall, and while I'm sure he's definitely different, because I feel like even once this character loses access to that, infinite, I imagine he's still going to be more than functional in this version. Happy Chaos seems a little bit too eternal at this point to not essentially be a high tier, so good stuff to classify so far. Keeping Jack kind of locked in this corner here. I don't imagine Jack will be willing to spend that burst maybe at this health point, but no, Jack maybe so, but a throw into... Heck, even the RC behind it would have been enough to seal it up. We get already get a round 3 between these two. And I love we're at a point now where we definitely know of players who have been able to take it over Jack, Classified being one of those few. But essentially now, whenever these two meet, even when Jack comes out, like, there is always hope for the side of the Classified fans when it comes to potentially taking out this demon with the gunslinger. But definitely easier said than done, as Class is just stuck now. Full screen, concentration coming back, gets the bullets back, concentration super now here again, and great, you see this over and over, can't get the combo if they get going, but when is Class allowed to play? The answer's never. The answer was never. The answer for that round was, hey, I hope you like to see the sweet new animation I got access to.
And if you guys missed it, here it is on the replay. Nice stuff. I gotta say, credits to Classified was looking for a chance to try to get our attention back, and potentially maybe that backdash there actually was supposed to be like a forward dash, but we were still holding back. I know that I've done that before. We're like, oh, I want to dash in now, but you're doing your down back your block, so you mistimed that dash macro. But Classified was building up that tension, not wasting it on the FD, but that meant you were taking the chip damage. You did see some just blocks at the end, but Jack already had you dead to rights there in the corner. We're going to see how we start this game 2.
Yeah, I think kind of checks out, right? Like, Jack's character did get changed a lot coming into this version, and we all know this caliber of player that Jack is. Whether the intentional gold burst spacing was there from Class, great recognition of it to get that whiff punish, put a good chunk, damn near 50%, pushing Jack through this wall. Positive most coming in, good frame trap with that 5K to keep the sequence going here. Have to try to play a little bit safer. All force to get yourself put into the corner right now. Not where you want to be in. Shoutouts to Jack, by the way, keeping that combo bulletless, I should say, then putting you through the wall. And a big change to Deus Ex Machina. good chunk of damage still in this game. Still able to Garth's Crush. Does not autofill the bullets for Happy Chaos anymore. He has to do the reload to get those bullets back, but he is rewarded with getting all the bullets back when he does it now.
Nice stuff. Gonna be spending that BRC to try to cheat in a bit, using some of those slow frames here to get you with the fuzzy. A little too plus, wanted to get the throw in as well. Gonna spend the burst, feeling confident about this round. Jack catching your backdash and finishing it off with the throw. What a close round there. Classified spending the burst, Jack coming out on top.
Definitely the warriors. You feel like you want to be able to cinch that round out, and a character like Happy Chaos, very good to burst into that corner, keep them from escaping out of your clutches. A good 63S stops at that IED, maybe hooks him for a JS or J2K there from the Happy Chaos, but Class looking very ready. Unfortunately, gonna get clipped here by that new curse as well. Hey y'all, curse can be blocked now, but it also means it has a hitbox to it, so hope you are ready for what that ends up meaning here. But good stagger pressure so far from Classified. Catches Jack on a potential fuzzy mash option there, and a good chunk of damage takes it out. Brings us to a round 3.
Man, one shimmy was all it took. Classified got you in the corner. Look at the fuzzy jumps from Jack. Doesn't want to get caught by any throws here. Classified with a lot of strikes, actually, with a rebeat there on the 2K to catch Jack low, but we do get a chance to fight out.
ID over here rolls through, and essentially you're Happy Chaos still gonna have access to that roll. A little bit harder to keep aspects of it safer than no longer being able to kind of let out the bullet whenever you are looking for, but concentration still not quite fully back yet. So the gun can't be fully used now. Back in business. Gunslinger is at the ready. We were so ready for that deep run in that ends up actually crossing through, but I think it keeps it same side regardless. Then Jack with another game in his pocket here, and you're seeing Class able to get, a lot of good sequences against, Jack, be able to take it to round 3 multiple times, but Jack is inevitable. Such incredibly strong defense, great fuzzy timings. You have to really mix him up to be able to do it, but if there's someone who can, Class definitely has it in him, but it will now need to be a reverse sweep to be able to put Jack down to that loser's side, or Jack will be moving on here and sitting in that winner's finals.
We'll see, man. Jack, no stranger to winners finals up here at the Jeekly. We're going to see, even on this 2.0 HC, if he can make it happen. But the set ain't over yet, and we got the Classified fans in the chat. If Classified's on the screen, Content Casper's in the chat, 100%. Jack right now, gotcha with this curse, trying to pull up, but the counter hit comes out, and the immediate wall splat.
I have to admit, shout out to Jack for understanding the wall health there, knowing he can get the concentration before that day as this mock hit comes through here. But we saw it earlier here. Are we about to get another one? Jack getting Class push all back to this full screen again. Here it comes. Bang, bang, through the portal. What can you do? It's not feeling like a whole lot right now. I saw some stuff online where there maybe are some windows where you can potentially kind of like jump over IED through some of the bullet things, but it feels like if Happy Chaos are able to hit essentially the sequence, it's basically uninteractable. So definitely kind of up to the there. And another change as well, Happy Chaos being able to break the wall with Curse here now that it has a hitbox too. So another pretty good change for this character despite those options, but a good shimmy here from Classified, keeping themselves in potentially this set, but Jack is so close, stitching this out at a 3-0. When will Class be able to get the play? I don't know, Jeek.
Bro, why does it reload you the fool, man? Anyways, Classified pulling up. Nice conversion off of that far side. That's some really good damage off of just that far side. It wasn't even a counter hit. And with that BRC, we got you mixed up here. Now, you do got to play perfect in order to close out this round. PRC keeping that Direct safe. Jack got you thrown in the corner.
You saw another change as well. PRC into buttons now has a lot heavy scaling. That throw might have killed previous version. Not this time though. I try it again, but Jack is so ready, reading out these bursts from Classified.
Okay, here we go.
Super ready to see how this next side of winner's side. Once again, both these players here, even if they end up falling from this set, still have a chance on that loser's side. But I also have to say my favorite thing about this version, Jeek, I'm sure you've been seeing it as well. They have essentially optimized most, if not all, of the maps. So essentially, these all feel pretty darn good online, which is a great thing to be seeing. You know, don't get me wrong, I like console 3. I think it's all right then, but we've been seeing a lot of console 3 for years at this point, so can't always see more of these sick backgrounds being our backdrops for this incredible action of Guilty Gear here. But a good route from Insert then, push MJ through this wall, get that positive to start rolling at least here. Definitely where you want to be. 100 meter for MJ and no chance to use it. Round 1 going Insert's way.
Strong stuff. Oh my gosh, very confident 5K to stuff out that S Dolphin. Insert going to be able to get in here though. Looking at that burst from MjKurase. Going to have to be careful when you spend it. Insert been very good about baiting it, especially with some of these burst safe routes we got. That being said, MjKurase with a counter hit, sending you through with this super spend as well. Nice stuff.
Positive going to ring in, and it's so funny. I'm so used to be like, oh, positive rings in. Well, they're going to build 50 after doing one thing. We're in a new era of Guilty Gear right now. Essentially a lot more sequences of having to play a little bit of neutral. People guess right here, but MJ frame trapping Insert on their attempt to fight back, answers back around immediately themselves.
Patient there on that S Dolphin block. Oh, a whiff on the far slash MjKurase. Gonna do awesome IBFD there on the meaty to end up getting a throw after. Insert a little stunned by that defense. I don't blame you. Does spend the gold burst here on the wake up, so we got 100 meter to play with and a burst spade from Insert.
Yeah, good luck trying to burst May, which is underneath. That seems to be the more story. But you have to try sometimes, right? Because otherwise damage is a little too high. And what side is she going to be on? Is it left? Is it right? Well, MJ tried and unfortunately was not able to stop it. May, Insert on the May, going to take that first game off the back of this giant whale. Where does that whale come from? You know, like the water is like a river nearby, right? Like she's able to summon the whole dang sea here. Definitely a little bit of magic happening in this Guilty Gear strive here, but the magic's going to keep on going in this set. We'll see if MJ, who definitely fought pretty hard then, a very close 3-2 over RedIAmNot to make it into winner's side top 8. So I'm sure they're just warming up here to get through, but a good 3K to get underneath that far slash right now. Insert showing you what you got to do to fight this Johnny Guilty Gear.
Trying to press out as well with that far slash. On the counter hit, spending the S Dolphin, was ready with the burst, but Insert able to get you right back with that red RC. Unfortunately, wasn't able to keep that combo going, but man, we got this damage to follow up at least. Same side does get blocked here. MjKurase with some good defense, but in the corner against this May, Insert's gonna make you hurt.
Oh my gosh, and this sequence is like MJ basically has got to press one button this round, it felt like, and it was just all Insert all the time. The pressure feels so relentless right now. And he's going to have to kind of find a way just to kind of slow down what Insert's looking to do, but May is just so mobile, so good at navigating the air. Good block on that side switch on that 2H attempt there, J2H attempt. But sends out the Dolphin then, get that knockdown. Another Dolphin pushes into the corner, but it catches out, sees the startup of that sigil for that air dash. Thrown in here, works around that close slash, but still finds a way to clip it out here. MJ doing his best to be able to at least stop Insert, gets that knockdown off of that low finer. Tick throw, not going to be able to connect off of that frame kill. And once again, we're playing the Insert game then, but I have seen Insert hit so many 5Ds. May 5D has such crazy range to it here, and despite the scaling then off of that starter, able to seal out another game. Insert is just absolutely running it so far. MJ definitely, you know, has some good moments of showing here, but just feels like we're not quite ready to fight this version of May right now. But, you know, one more game potentially to answer back, maybe do a reverse sweep. Heck, even get us a game 5 is what we'd be looking for here tonight, but about to see how we can adjust it, how we can stop Insert from bringing on the whole Sea Armada.
Nice stuff. Very active here. Pulling up on that other side. MjKurase getting hit by that cross up, but was ready with the burst. Puts his May down in the corner and actually catches you with the 2P, but Insert still fighting out with far slash.
Oh, and MJ having to spend the burst so early on, just to get hit again on their pressure. Definitely can be tough when you have to answer back with that system mechanic and not be able to dare. Good wire C at least kind of stop once again Insert, but Insert is so ready with these button presses, and it just looks like MJ can't quite figure out what he needs to do to stop Insert from keeping the pressure heavy. Good 2S'er hits some potential startup frames of something then, but not enough to at least take a hard out. A run up throw to be able to do it. Blocks the same side this time. Keeps it low, goes to the low option here again, gets that meaty into the beach ball. Charge hit again, far slash starter. It's going to do a lot of damage. Not going to be enough to kill, though.
Nice stuff, trying to catch you with that 5H. It's going to be the 3K, but no meter to get that confirm. It's going to be the reversal, but the PRC on that Cape Hunter keeps us safe, and a full charge dust is the punish.
And I feel like we're in the version of Giovanna right now. Charge dust, very much one of the better options then for looking for punishes for, you know, your bursts, your DPs, your block supers when you can. So definitely good stuff to MJ here. Showing what they could have done. Insert will spend that burst to stop it, but MJ now looking very good here, and the overhead's going to come through, put them into the wall. And I'm wondering with the scale, it's going to be very close if it's enough to kill.
Oh my god, buff Johnny,
yep.
Buff Johnny. I can't believe I'm saying it, Ganyon.
Burst successful there this time. Backs off here so far. Low Finder ends up being blocked out. The car was still active too. Actually caught me off guard as well. I'm curious if Insert was aware of that at that point. Kept Johnny a lot more plus, so that the Eddie Fuzzy attempt was not going to likely work out anyway here. And MJ starting to feel a little bit of momentum shifting in his corner. Has Insert kind of stuck in the corner as well. Gets that Low Finder off of the 6P to get the knockdown then, but a Gold Burst pushing Johnny back into the corner here. Another 5D trying to come through, but the reversal super gonna send this May essentially back to near full screen. Oh, actually gets a jump attempt, but he gets Oki off that too, but the super was absolutely ready, pushing you all the way back here. Ends you with the reversal throw, keeping themselves in this set. One more round would let them do it. Gets it with the RC, and let's go. You love to see players adapting and not letting the fact of how the set started taking them out of it. MJ answering back here, and we're getting a game 4.
I mean, you called it out earlier, Ganyon. I mean, MjKurase, not just a net player, right? Also showing up to some of these big offlines, most recently Slashback, doing pretty well for themselves. So, hey, Jeekly Online ain't nothing but a thing. Getting a game here on the board. That being said, Insert, probably the best May in North America, in contention for the world at this point, for the players they've been able to take out. Need to start seeing Insert some of these offlines. But tonight, we're online here at the Jeekly. Insert with a good start here at that 5K, but too confident on the throw, has to spend the burst.
I got the last bit of that 3K, just clipping Johnny in the toes and get that hard knockdown. Try to get a throw, a good backdash. No punish, though. A little bit of Dolphin RPS here, left, right through. And whiffs out on the JP to be able to throw. Gonna clip your backdash attempt then. And oh no, the Soul Stealer has been applied. Spending out that burst meter just to lose the round, and Insert sitting on set point once again. But MJ was in the situation before, kind of losing out on a bit of an unfortunate burst situation, but able to fight back then. But watch out your toes here, pushing you through the wall. Gonna throw out the J real quick, let that positive bring in, build up some of that burst meter back again, because we've been seeing it. Insert has been very, very comfortable on a lot of this Johnny pressure, finding good fuzzy mash timings here. So if you have access to that burst is so damn important, but great routes over MJ. Crazy enough then, breaking them all with a super the whole time. It was MJ's turn. Still didn't have 50 by the end of it, but a good fight back from Insert so far to push MJ through the wall here and get a hard knockdown.
That's a lot of damage, more than half your HP. Oh, trying to bait out a shimmy here. Early cancel on the super, even if Insert felt confident enough to burst, MjKurase wasn't gonna let you. Still set point out here for Insert, but both players even up on resources. MjKurase playing hot.
Yes, obviously MjKurase definitely keeping themselves in the set. Like I said, it can be so easy depending on where you're at as a competitor, letting some games that aren't going your way affect essentially before the set is even over here. But MJ shows they are absolutely no slouch when it comes to competing. Great 6P to answer then. The card was still in the air to get the up finer to cancel, but you end up pressing at the wrong time. May 5H has found you. Bit of a drop though. Go ahead and reset, stick you through the wall here. Not enough to kill them. Positive, you're going to start rolling in here for Insert any time now. Bit of a Dolphin who attempted. Actually gets, oh my god, Dolphin anti-aired the deal attempt too. Oh no, but spent on the deflect shield, but it wasn't able to connect with something. Of top 8, we have Tenack on that Ramlethal. Joe Brownie on the Jacko. Let's get into it here. A little bit of empty pressure, just walking up into basic pressure here. Again, gets over there, but behind now the minions are Gets a bit of that retreating JS attempt, but you are pushing the corner. You are in the ram zone right now. But a good backdash then, pushing your back here again. Joe Brownie, sits on a 5H, but not going to connect with anything here. Going to get that media burst set out. Not want to take any of that ram damage.
Yeah, got to give it to Tenack, though, despite these bots being flung at you. Was able to find some ways to press out of them, especially with the 5K. Very quick normal to do so. Joe got you in the corner, though, with a lot of meter for mix. So Tenack gonna have to block it out and get through these system mechanics. It's gonna be the fast red RC to catch you with the bot. Tenack spends the burst feeling confident here, tries to clip you with Ondo, but Joe Brownie with some amazing spacing.
Send another close slash off that OTG, but Mortobato was ready. Not ready for that flip overhead. Now push back to the corner here. One sword has been spent. Last sword as well. S sword out there ready then, but spends out that YRC. Ram with no swords. Definitely loses out a lot of those range aspects here again. We're going to get access to that H sword pretty soon here. So that's actually clips up both the bots here. It's a really good situation for Tenack, but Joe Brownie with the tick throw off of that 2K. Able to take out that first round, but these two players have been swinging back and forth. I imagine we're going to have a pretty close set as we get deeper into it here. But Joe getting Tenack push to this corner. Flips himself into the corner here again. Definitely not where you want to be against Ram. To go through that wall. She gets both her swords back again. And you trade out almost 50% of your life in the process here. Good FRC cancel then to keep yourself safe, and the pressure's still going here, but a close slash. Good chunk of damage coming through. I don't think Joe's going to want to spend out this burst. Yeah, not even going to consider it, but because of the Tenack recognizing what they need to do, get that super so that can't even be an option here going into round 3.
Joe spending that burst right away. Tenack feeling good about that last round. I'm going to keep you back with that H sword. Is able to jump out of it. Tenack tries to keep you down with those cat scratchers, though. Joe getting spaced out on that 5H. Both these players just... we're playing pretty honest for the characters we're seeing on the screen. That being said, what an amazing cross-up here from Tenack.
I have to say the comedic time of that Jeek was so good. Honest into the left-right sword explosion was too peak, I have to say here, but good stuff to next far. Says that BRC does not actually get 6P'd. I don't think if that's intentional or not, but you know, Joe having a moment of being right and wrong at the same time, but good FRC cancel here to get that minion out then to keep that set play going. And look at how far Jacko is just pushing you in the sequence despite the block, but yeah, you jump over, and now the minions are behind you. The homies ready to jump you at any moment. Good 6P. And look at this route so far here. Again, Joe has Tenack where he's looking to keep him. Get that burst spent out right now. But that clock is ticking down here. Getting just around 30 seconds again. Try to kill these players. Be adjusting a little bit more, but good IEDJS. But the 2D going to clip you in your toes. Push you all the way through. Not going to quite stick to the wall or wall break again. When will it seem to end? When will Tenack be allowed to press a button? But an air flip actually going to clip out Joe into the laser super. Is it be enough to kill? Not quite.
Unfortunate stuff. I like how Tenack was ready with the flip kick after, just trying to ensure that we get that. The heads up play to go for that Calvados in the first place. Who died? Okay. Woof. Wow, that was a weird one right there, but Tenack comes out on top in a very close game 1.
Yeah, that was very, very close as well. One of those trade moments. I'm actually kind of curious to see what did they both trade on. Okay, it looks like maybe a 5K, a 2K startup potentially, or 2D startup maybe, but yeah, really good stuff there. And Joe Brownie was such in strong control in the sequences there, but the patience from Tenack to not overcommit and just kind of let Jacko run away with it definitely helped him make a good comeback in that first game. But game 2 right now, Joe Brownie definitely a strong competitor, so curious to see how we get to adjust. Good chase on that backdash with that 5H here. Blocks the overhead, but if they knock the minion into you, it keeps it plus.
Guys, I know there's a match going on, but I have to call attention to the massive contribution in the prize pool. Thank you so much, MarkyD. 333. Holy shit, bro. You get a curse word for that one. Look at the prize pool, y'all. Thank you so much for that, Marky. My God, up to $360 in this one. That means a top 4 split guaranteed. Y'all got to lock in at this point. Even though you're on the loser side, getting the top 4 to get some of that prize pool is very realistic. So good stuff here. Joe getting put down by that H sword does get picked up here. Tenack sends you through. Thank you so much, Marky.
Yeah, love to see how much this community supports all these awesome players as they put out their best for y'all on this Friday night. Of like seeing some pretty sick gear here. Wow, that 2S just going underneath the 5K there from Joe Brownie's Jacko, but great left-right sequencing into a good combo on hit. Joe Brownie taking a round here in our game 2 so far. Gets clipped by the 5H immediate burst, not trying to give Tenack any of those counter hit routes that Ram still has access to, but so far, a little bit of this back and forth, but Joe is kind of getting slowly walk to that corner. Good IED attempt, and at least to get themselves more to that mid-screen situation here. But trying to get a bit of spacing to get when will that burst be coming out from Tenack so far, being down that round. But a good reversal throw, not willing to spend it quite yet.
You're going to block on the overhead there. Joe stuck down with all of the swords. Tenack trying to shimmy you out there with that jump back air dash, but the oh my gosh. Gonna be able to super through. I think I saw an RC startup too there from Tenack trying to keep herself safe.
Sure does, but like it's weird because it did spend on the meter as well, so definitely just a pure startup catch, I guess, before it actually spent out the meter. But Tenack still has access to 100 and their burst. When we see up here, yeah, not trying to take any of that mix up here from Joe's Jacko. Now pushing the corner here, jumps out, tries to connect through, use PRC to keep that safe. You are in full counter hit recovery as you are falling. Great recognition here from Joe and a great answer back in our game 2, bringing us to 1 apiece.
Yeah, amazing play there from Joe, using the JD and then that PRC drift afterwards to just make ourselves un-anti-airable. And I think was that a close slash anti-air attempt from Tenack? Woo woo. Police right here. Can't be anti-air and close slash in season 2. Nice stuff out there, man. So much going on, man. We got that massive raid earlier. The prize pool is gigantic. We're watching some good ass gear right now. Scores evened up. We're going into game 3.
Yeah, I love to see it. 2.0 making us all excited for a game that's been out for almost 5 years at this point. I just saw, I think, a post recently that around this time 5 years ago was that open beta, that initial version where people got to play. We were still on delayed-based netcode for that version as well. So look at how far we've come, and what a beautiful refreshed version coming into it. That BRC 2P going to clip out that 2S startup there by Tenack. Not stuck in this corner right now. It's about to be in. When you are against Jacko, you want to press. Good far touch, going to actually find Joe overhead. Not quite ready to be blocked out for here again, but unfortunately catches the startup then with that sword toss, pushing you right through. And then we spent the sword. We get them both back right away, going through that wall. Tenack absolutely running a strong sequence and a strong round 1 here in game 3. Looking pretty damn clean, I have to say.
Nice up with these bots. Tenack getting pushed down there. Joe Brownie hitting you off the backboard with some of these. Ando trying to keep that turn. You see Joe trying to 6P through some of those big slash normals from Tenack if we try to over-represent him. Good block on the 5D. Does get a press out as well. The burst to try to keep the corner. Joe going to spend it to get out.
Get more of that full screen option then, where Jacko definitely has a lot more threat than Ram will. So, you know, it sends out those minions, send out the little homies, let them do the work for you. But a good IED, delayed JK there into that, get that knockdown with that 214, J214S. But frame trapping you with that 6H. Big damage about to come through. No ability to spend the super actually works out in their favor. Just actually built the 50 potentially to take the game. Wasn't able to recognize it here. And now Joe able to answer back with that BRC drift forward here. Get that knockdown again. YRC breaks. Oh, the friend sends out the 5H. Not quite ready for it. And Tenack moving up here to 2-1 over Joe Brownie. But I can imagine Joe here very, very close to essentially taking, you know, either of these rounds so far. I'm hoping we can get ourselves another game 5, but, you know, we'll have to settle for at least a game 4 for right now as we get into this next game shortly. But yeah, just great sequencing, great patience from Tenack to not want to spend too much meter on FDing a lot of these, you know, minion hits from that chip damage, then want to have access to those reversal options, to that YRC, and then put out those big ram buttons just to hold down the fort.
Appreciate y'all hanging out, watching, rooting on your favorite players out here. Joe going to be able to get out. That pressure from Tenack, it was a good start, but now the bots are out, and these attack commands are putting this Ramlethal in the corner. Good blocks here from Tenack, trying to spare some of that FD to try to build back up our tension. It's going to pay off here because I see 50 on the horizon. Joe already has it, though. Very active with these 6Ps. But good presses here from Tenack, taking you down the screen.
Absolutely here. And I like that. Choosing to do the S sword as well to get essentially that, you know, knockdown. Then I don't think you can actually stick off of the S sword. Maybe you can't if you're very close, but maybe try to do a bit of a side switch route there. Not able to quite hit it. Not sure if it's still variable in this version, but Tenack so far keeping it clean, keeping it strong, and right now sitting on set point to move on in this bracket. If Joe Brownie drops here, he is out of the tournament at least for this week, and hope we see him again in a future Jeekly if he doesn't do it, but still has a chance, still has a life to live. Let's see if he get good jump over with that double JP to get that knockdown at least. Without another minion here. Not quite enough to be able to stick into the wall, but you are stuck in this corner. Good throw attempt again. Dropping the minions into the empty low. Elysium Driver going to put you through that wall, get the hard knockdown, and get some guaranteed minion pressure.
Gonna pull up. Actually, no, we're gonna sit back and have our goobers pull up for us. All three are on the screen. But Tenack quickly got rid of all of them. Cat Scratch to keep you down. 5D is gonna be the mix. Joe holding on to this burst. Tenack trying to go for a reset here to ensure that the next time he gets into the wall, it kills you. With that counter hit, spends the H sword, but a nice burst from Joe. Good claps on those bots, but Joe still able to close out the round. Tenack was trying to force that one with the 5P.
Yeah, and honestly, great recognition by Tenack to be able to actually hit the bots there before it essentially came an active option. So, and here now, and unfortunately, Joe has no access to burst. Likely won't even be seeing burst unless they can find a wall break into getting positive bonus. Tried to fight through, but the far slash was still active after hitting the minion. Not where you want to be seeing. And I think with the sword explosion saves Joe Brownie's life. Just a hair left to be able to do it. Sends it out on the 2D. Tenack was caught off guard, but Joe's willing to send it out there, but gets underneath the JD, takes to the sky with a little cat scratch, and Tenack is going to take out Joe Brownie. Has only improved a ton on this journey as well, and especially now rocking the May. So of course, RedIAmNot here, definitely one of Goldlewis's best champions. No longer do we talking about the air taunts. We are showing what this character can do. I don't know if you guys saw in last week's as well, but man, it felt like RedIAmNot's 2K usage was some of just the biggest wall I've ever seen from a light button in this game.
I mean, yeah, we already have the 2P very strong there from Red and from Goldlewis, but yeah, that 2K. I was watching back the VOD. I saw how lethal it could be. Totes are going to spend that burst, not want to take any more damage out here. Security cancel means there's no more left on the side of Red, but does have the red RC to keep the turn up. Totsu with that fuzzy jump to try to get out of it, but that 2K that you called out, my God, it's active. It puts up the wall, and God forbid you walk into it because Red's going to kill you.
Because it's like this button that is essentially so safe to press, and the reward is incredible off of it, and it's just, yeah, it feels a little bit like an oversight with how reliable it is, but maybe we just gotta dig a little deal, figure it out. But these IBFDs then from totsubunger getting a lot of space built up so far, but Red, good empty jump into that throw. totsubunger getting pushed this corner right now, letting the drone go out. Good air behemoth to push them back down to that corner again. Get Jill into that drone option. Blocks out the low, but the coffins are still swinging. The alien is letting you know what's up. And it feels like Totsu barely got a chance, finally gets the far shot to get started. We're not giving her any chance to be able to fight back so far, and we are able to jail it in, keep Totsu stuck in that corner, and a pretty quick game one going to Red.
You were talking about some Jeekly lore earlier about Totsu supporting Jeekly. I think she played in the first ever Jeekly, and she won Jeekly number 3. So if you guys remember way back, oh my God, that was 2024. I think it was Totsu winning even all the way back then. But RedIAmNot, long time entrant out here in the Jeekly, probably second or third most wins for a player in this bracket. So no surprise to see them with a nice start here. That being said, Totsu, an 2+ there on the same side, actually didn't get the connection, but still got the Goldlewis in the corner.
Great routing options there, keeping it burst safe with these up dolphins being able to cancel off. Guess she gets a clash on the 5H with the far slash. End up gonna get a good cancel here again, push it through that wall. Got 50 to sit on here, positive bonus to not end up spending any meter, so should be getting at least about 30-some, 40-some %. meter based off of that positive once again here, but there's that 2K. The wall has been put up, and it's up to Totsu to figure out how to navigate around it. But even if you are not worried about the light wall, look out for these giant behemoths coming through. Curious if we're going to see Red being able to spend it. What a sequence there. You're sitting there thinking about the beach ball, and all of a sudden she has canceled into an overhead. What a setup there from totsubunger to seal out that round.
That was fire, actually. My God. Okay, was going to block the same side, but gets called out with the throw. The flex shield does connect, but that TKBT puts this Mei in the corner. Good backdash to try to S-Dolphin through, but Red was able to recover and block in time.
Oh my gosh, and when does it end? It feels like he's keep getting jailed down by these behemoths here. Blocking out on these lows. 2K stopped any jump attempts here. Tries to send out that 5H, not able to really connect with much. Except with the JH, simple JH to be able to do it. Wonder what Totsu was looking for, what the potential input option was, but good answer back in the rounds here. One apiece in round count. Red didn't get that first game, but totsubunger, good. Oh, that was such a strong hit off the hit to be able to get the command throw here. Up Dolphin to break here. Newly buffed Up Dolphin as well in this version of Strive. So Totsu definitely showing us what this Mei can do here, but there is that burst. Slides underneath with a 3K.
Oh, nice IBFD there on that security canceled BT. Actually, it wasn't security canceled, but good defense. Ends up security canceling there, building back up some to try to keep this pressure up. Red will not get off you. The Red RC to keep our turn as well. Totsu just trying to FD you back, but the tension is at 0 at this point. Getting out a good counter hit to get out of that corner, and the cross-up counter hit. Totsu closes out that game, but that one felt like a close one.
And I love that choice with that J2H there from Mei. I wonder if that is essentially like a timing where like maybe there's like a fuzzy timing, right, that you normally worry about with the low, but that IAD back last second, then keeping it overhead, getting the big counter hit as well. Definitely not surprised. See totsubunger answering back. She is an incredibly strong Mei player. Her and Insert have absolutely been two of the best pushing this character for North America. And I definitely cannot wait to see what they continue to cook up here in 2.0 as we continue to move forward there. But good up back there from Red, answered down with that JD. JD is a button that's saw a few nerfs, you know, over the years since this character has come out, but definitely still a functional tool in the tool belt then. But Totsu, great routing choice here. Double Dolphin cancel to build up some meter. Okay, Totsu, I see you.
Oh, trying to possibly go for an anti-air there, but Red too early on the BT for Totsu's liking. Does spend the burst to keep our turn, and it looks like it's going to pay off. Unfortunately, didn't get that link close slash there, but we still got a lot of tension to spend, and Red knows that. So they're trying to throw you into this corner, not letting Totsu have that chance to play with it, needing to use it on FD to try to keep this HP up, but gets caught anyways. Oh, no, okay, no conversion, but the BT on Totsu's wake up. Got a little scrambly there, but Goldlewis comes out on top.
Oh, what a gift to have for it to be a far slash just to get clipped on the additional behemoth after recognition from Red. Recognizing that combo ended up dropping and sent it out that bit more of a delayed option from that behemoth typhoon, but a good mash out here and good side switch again. Even not getting a full combo, you have now put Totsu in this corner. FRCs to bring out the drone here, but a good fuzzy jump out, gonna be able to answer back, gonna get a burst movement out of Red just to get clipped again here. And if you want Totsu to be in this set, potentially to take it over Red, it's exactly what you're looking for. The positive gonna be rolling in here pretty shortly, gonna build you at least up again, but now you're on defense against this Goldlewis champion. Definitely could be a scary spot. You have to pick the right moment to be able to answer back, and clips out. We were saying, how do you stop the 2K from Goldlewis? Put out a big old disjointed H button.
Oh, man. And talking about disjointed H buttons, that's all Mei has. Totsu knows where to put them. S-Dolphin, the whiff punish that BT. Try to get a tick throw there on the 5P. Red sniffing that one out. Got this Mei cornered. The lows getting blocked. FD being spent to try to keep that HP up and get that distance up. Unfortunately, no whiff punish there on that 5H, and there's that 2K, that boot, putting this Mei back down.
Absolutely. Totsu's stuck in this corner now as well. He'll actually hook to that burst. We'll only be seeing it. 2K gonna actually clip, able to burst out before they actually got stuck in the wall. That's so big for Totsu staying in this round. Immediate burst answering back. sending it into the bring it down, which bring it with here. But good multi-air IBs. If you are able to air IB, I don't know how many you need to do. You can actually work yourself back out through the laser. Totsu doing everything right and still stuck in this corner. And just pulls out the gun to seal it here. Red getting game 3, bringing them up to 2-1 right now. One more game will let them continue to move forward in this bracket. But Totsu absolutely playing out of her mind. But it just feels so tough to be able to stop this Goldlewis when he starts swinging.
Man. Totsu's a sicko, bro, for those air blocks. Oh, my gosh. But got to give it right back to Red. Said, hey, you brought an anchor to a gunfight. Only needed one around to take out Totsu there. Now, the set ain't over, of course. I'm not talking like it is. The fuzzy jump to try to get around some of those throws. In fact, gets a back throw of our own. These low BTs getting blocked out. The counter hit keeping May here in the corner. No burst spend yet. Both players so patient with it. But because of that, Red's getting rewarded with a lot of these throws here in the corner.
Oh my gosh, with multiple lows into that late overhead. Has enough to still be able to send it through with the down with the system here. Gonna get that another 2K to chase out. Oh, and honestly, this 2K is so good. Being so active actually can help you chase out backdashes as well. Cancel here again, but not enough meter to be able to stop the sequence. Actually, yeah, that all end up being spent out there. Totsu doing her best to stick in this set, but Red so close, moving on set point right now with that round win off of a great left-right on that JH here. Totsu not quite ready. I'll definitely catch the uphold attempt then too, but I think it keeps May a little bit more plus than you end up being. And I love Red, you're holding so much space, but a good 2P anti-air stops any of that sequence. JD as well, pushing Totsu away to this corner. Bit of a backdash, hold some space, but that 2K is doing so much work, Jeek.
Definitely some good play here from Red, scooping you all around, putting you back into the corner. 2+, couldn't get that throw, and Totsu gets some time to shine. She's building up 50. The same side gets blocked. Good jump out there. Oh my god, some crazy stuff there from RedIAmNot. The throw, OTG wasn't enough to kill. But it's going to be the 5D to close it out. RedIAmNot moves on through this top 8.
To do it, but here we go, guys. First losers quarters match now of our Jeekly top 8. Number 92, we got MjKurase on the Johnny, Tenack on the Ramlethal Valentine, and these are two characters playing and sitting pretty damn well in this version of 2.0 Strive. Let's see how these players bring us into the first match here. A 2S to get ourselves started. Ooh, no full pickup here from Tenack then, but hard knockdown now for MJ to get that Johnny game started. This can be so spooky here. Oh, a new little mix up into that left right there. That JK falling, but no full pickup here. Gets just blocked out then, but not stuff the cards.
Okay. I like that reposition of the card. Ends up catching Tenack here in the air with that finer. Gives us some chance to breathe. Tries to pull up with the 5H. Oh, you see Kurase preempted with those anti-airs. And not just the 6P, but also the super. We got Tenack here in the corner. Catches you with the vault deal.
Oh my god. Oh no, a bit of a drop attempt on the 2K. Didn't have any access to any meter behind it to keep the sequence going. But Tenack willing to spend the burst there as well. A lot of health to cut through from MJ. But at least we can get MJ to spend that burst. Oh, good shimmy attempt. How we get started right now. Be able to get the wall sit they're looking for. Bit of a reset then. I love choosing flip then. If they would have set to the sword, the explosion likely would have went off or would have enabled the super. And MJ definitely needs to be very careful going forward here. Tenack, baby, making the right call. Honestly, remember this meter, stuff to do it then. Doesn't even need the RC and spend the burst to win the round. Yeah, that feels worth it.
Oh, man. Yo, you know Tenack was clenching, too. It either went one of two ways, you know. Tenack was probably like, why the hell did I just burst, you know, and then had to clench it up. Or Tenack out here believing in themselves. That being said, Kurase not taking that one lightly. Was trying to put Ramlethal back in the corner, but Tenack fighting out. Gets the cross up, close slash. And with 100 meter, builds up to this Calvados. Oh, I mean, didn't get to the 100, but doesn't need it. Just going to be able to kill you right here.
Does so much damage. Whew. And not super, you see super, you know, often, you know, because obviously Ram not having access to use this without having both her swords equipped here, but I like this early cancel routing.
Oh,
It did drop. Okay,
Oh.
I mislooked for a second, so I didn't quite know, but I'm like, wait, that looked weird. And then sure enough, it did end up missing. MJ just assuming they were done. May put the hands out, grab a drink of water, but until you hear slash, make sure your hands are on the wheel.
Oh man, and the chat saw it too. By the way, I saw Nana say not the Calvados reset. I'm like, what are you talking about? But oh my god. Okay, MjKurase definitely locking in here on this game too. Already with a very strong start. Tenack going to be down to 30% here. I mean, what's this? This was only 10 seconds.
Yeah, looking like a pretty strong Johnny round so far. So that's to that burst. Maybe we'll see another Tenack hero burst. Be able to take the round. Ooh, bit of a double dash that ends up getting back thrown here. And MJ now in a pretty spooky spot. Tenack not even needing to spend anything to be able to get MJ off of them. Put it through the wall with that Mordo Bato. Good chunk of damage coming through. Keeps it YRC safe. Ready with the Ondo to pick it up. 5k, 6H. Putting you into that wall with the forward H sword. Oh, and there's that newly buffed Ram JH. I hope you all weren't tired of how good that button was before. And while it isn't as good as it once was, they clearly wanted Rams to be able to use this tool again.
Okay, low finder getting blocked out here, but then the overhead catching you, the fast RC after the send you through the wall. And Senga for some good damage here. MjKurase doesn't have that meter penalty, so was able to build up the 50 tension on that positive and then got the kill. Great stuff right there, evening up the rounds.
Love your players being able to answer back to each other's choices, swapping through what we can do, the RPS for the RPS, but there is a good vault into that deal. MJ not get punished for sending it out here. Good ID to let's get back to that mid screen then, but a backdash gonna get clipped there by the flip. Not able to get a full sequence, spent the meter. Just at least keep their turn a little bit more plus, but this air stall, one of Johnny's best tools, is being access to those air misfire cancels. But Tenack not feeling any of the party game. Gets the wall stick here. Morto Bato able to reach because we have the swords. And Tenack up another game right now. Sitting on currently 2-0. One more game will allow them to move forward here and be in that losers semifinals. And then play the winner of Classified and RedIAmNot. But not quite out yet. MjKurase definitely was down before against Insert, able to at least answer back a game. Maybe we can get that again. Heck, even push us to maybe that sweet, sweet game 5. But he'll have to look deep, look inward to figure out how to do it. Because so far, Tenack is looking damn clean on this Ramlethal.
Yeah, Tenack, honestly, like, I'm not just saying it because he's on the screen right now, but one of my favorite players to watch out here on this Ramlethal. Definitely excited to see, especially because the vibes have been up with her in Season 2, how he's going to be playing with her. So, that being said, MjKurase, man, out here on this Johnny. I love this 2.0 Johnny as well. Man, I like all the players in this top 8. Can you blame me? Tenack getting that overhead block. MjKurase fighting out with that very active overhead finder. Does get out despite the spaghetti. Tenack trying to block out this Johnny.
So access to that burst. I don't need to spend it quite yet. Good 2K at least stop the MJ's approach attempt, but that 6P gonna actually recovery be clipped by that BRC, so slowdown still active for a little bit longer. A long time to get a much better punish after falling down again. Good stagger attempt. Ooh, wasn't quite ready for that deflection to be able to come out. Good air-to-air landing into a close slash pickup as well. Tenack is playing so well and has a big burst lead and find themselves on set point.
Second finder to follow up that card. You see the whiff card crush, and then you think, oh, I'm going to be able to get in regardless, but not if MjKurase is sending those cave finers. Going to be able to super you after that wall splat. Tenack here on set point, but MjKurase with a very strong round here. Only needs one more mix-up to close it out. Tenack going to try to block it.
Just trying to empty this Johnny away from them there, but I don't imagine we're spending this burst out at all. Yeah, even Chip, I think, ends up doing it. Yeah. Good stuff to MJ, keeping themselves in, trying to keep the set close, getting a nice round 3 going through, but a great JH here from Tenack's Ramlethal. Gonna force out the burst so far here by MJ. Being able to answer back then, but a good 6P stopping that far slash here from Tenack's Ramlethal. But a good recognition of easily to get the far slash into the Darrow, but too far away to get that new pickup now. I think Ram can only get 2K off of Darrow now after on hit, so a little bit more spaced out, a little bit less opportunities, but a good tick throw off that 2K on block. That overhead again with that JK, but good sequencing, get a bit more space then. Trying to push Tenack to this corner, but now Tenack a little bit more control. Full burst here for MJ. So even if they end up getting clicked, then they can at least force Tenack to have to get another hit on here. But good up, Finer, stop the sequence again. Car Pop going to actually clip you here. No ability to spend the meter out again as well. YRC to stop the FRC, canceled down. Well, with the burst, and there's that burst from MJ. Can absolutely go either way at this point, but one clip is all MJ needs. And actually the card was still there, dashing forward. Gets the pop again, and MJ, just like they did on winner's side semis, on the brink of getting knocked out here, finds a game to keep themselves in it, and we are getting a game 4.
Awesome stuff, bro. MjKurase is someone you never want to count out. My man's got the offline nerves. So I know you're seeing him on the online right now, but it's a whole different demon. That being said, Tenack does have this lead. Very confident play. Very strong play on this Ramlethal. See how the round start looks. I like that approach. Just a dash block trying to be aggressive. MjKurase stubbing you out. Try to get a punish there on the 5H, but it's going to be the first damage dealt by MjKurase. Oh, the safe jab 2P. Can I call it that? Going to put Ramlethal in the corner.
Yeah, that was sick from MJ. Hitting the card toss, this 2P to check, and then getting a good throw. So and there's that, essentially that kind of delayed jump into the down deal, keeps themselves plus. Good 5X press again, but no real pickup option off of it. Another meaty card here, catch it on the toes, and there is another hero burst. Tenack, then we feel a little confidence here going into this game, but MJ now in such a good position going into this round 2, trying to give ourselves a chance to get to a game 5. Has Tenack pushed away to this corner here. Card still set on the ground. Good throw tech by Tenack, keep them in, but immediate burst from MJ, keeping Tenack stuck in this corner, and we are just keeping them held down. These 6Hs never ending here. Overhead gonna be blocked out. Actually messes up on the overhead attempt, but works out in MJ's favor here, and Tenack just feels so stuck, Jeek.
Does get a chance to try to get out of that corner for a moment here with some of these close slashes, but MjKurase is still boxing you in, keeping you in. The counter hit far slash is the first sign of light here for Tenack. Whiffs that air special. MjKurase gets a counter hit here on the ground, and with this Johnny damage, it'll be close. Not enough to kill even with the Insenga there.
My gosh, one little hit, a little bit of chip damage could even do it as well. And just has to keep themselves safe, not do anything too risky at this point so far, and there we are taking advantage of those air Finer cancels just to kind of delay the fallen. It can be so tough to anti-air Johnny in this point. Essentially you have to go up to the skies to be able to fight him a lot of times, but Tenack did not have much health to work with, and we are getting a game 5 here, the first game 5 of our top 8 tonight as well. So let's see here in chat, who do you think it's going to be, y'all? Is it going to be Tenack? Is it going to be MJ moving on? And they'll have to face the winner then of Classified and RedIAmNot, but still have one more game to get through. Let's see how this shakes up.
I mean, another big thing about winning this match is that it gets you into top 4, which means that you'll get a slice of that pie, of that 359. I mean, what's 10% of that? That's the minimum you can get if you get to 4th place. So, hell, for a free online bracket, that's crazy. Good stuff. We're going to get that counter hit to keep Tenack here in the corner. I like how you're able to get that OTG piece into another card to try to get that Oki after, and it pays off because MjKurase keeping this Ramlethal back. Tenack still trying to fight out of that corner with a point-blank 5H.
Oh my gosh, and how close that ended up working out there off of that 5H. Oh, a bit of a drop combo, unfortunately, then. But once again, MJ so confident and working around. Actually jumps over off of the cross-sided air Finer with the card pop. MJ just cruising through the skies, getting Tenack caught. No connection with that Morto Bato, and is now on set point, which would also be from a reverse sweep, which is such an impressive thing to do at this level of play. But Tenack so far not feeling too there. Actually delaying out that close dash follow-up, then catching out on the backdash here. putting it through the wall. But look at that damage scaling off of PRC. That's that PRC into button change for scaling. But MJ likely not going to be willing to do it from this round. I don't think we're going to be spending that burst unless we can get Tenack to spend theirs. And sure enough, here we go. A perfect taking us into our final game, final round. Full burst on each side. Can go either way.
MjKurase with the strong start with that throw. The card crush going to get a tech throw after Tenack with another basically point blank 5H. MjKurase spends the burst right away this time. Got you stuck here in the corner. The 5Ks connect. Good throw as well from MjKurase. The overhead gets blocked, but Tenack caught by that 2S just wants to get out of the corner.
I feel like Tenack is getting pushed the corner so often by MJ's pressure so far, but ready with that cancel off of that low finer here again. Sends it out into the Joker trick, sending Tenack out of the bracket, guaranteeing a slice of the pot for themselves here. MjKurase gonna take a very close 3-2, but here we go. I'm sure we're all seeing this, by the way. Is that a classified Jacko we're seeing on the screen?
Bro, now you can take the mask off Jacko and everyone thinks they're a Jacko player. I don't know what it is, but here we go. We're gonna spend that gold burst here on the wake up. Trying to keep you back. Doesn't have the 2 security for the full wall break, I didn't see. So uses our red RC to keep that pressure up. Classify with that fuzzy jump. Caught here for a moment. I do like that press out, but red feeling confident. Spends the burst to keep you in the corner.
Yeah, this is so tough. Jacko having to fight out back a little bit more on the Ana side here, and Classify not quite able to figure out what they can do to even get the knockdown, to get the Jacko game plan started. A pretty quick first round going to RedIAmNot, but at least Classified has an advantage in the burst sequence here. Great sequencing so far, pushing Red all the way to this corner already. Get into that empty low with the minions. Blocking out the minions, keeping her plus here. This is working so well. Again, it was such a snowbally first round, but haven't spent that burst. Now trying to let Goldlewis get himself started.
Oh, trying to defend command through the drone. Is that tech? Keeping up that BRC dash cancel. Red going to send you through. Look at that damn. I think that was half your HP right now. 5K to keep you locked down. The red RC on the BT. Red going to close out game 1.
Yeah, you definitely kind of saw it there. Like, it doesn't say that. I'm sure Classified has the ability to pilot Jacko at an incredibly high level. Probably, cook a lot of us here watching right now, but essentially the deep layers of level of understanding of what you need to do, fight off these awkward situations. Like, there's no way Classified has the same understanding of what to press at all times as he would on a character like Giovanna, but I have to imagine that this is a matchup that he has been struggling to solve from Gio's case. Then at least if Jacko can put this character into a bit of her own blender, definitely at least let's potentially answer back what he's looking for. Great 6P. That was like an instant 6P on that JD. Classified is super locked in.
And real quick shout outs to onetailedkitsune for that $10 contribution. Their message was, what was it? It was haha funny number. Thank you very much for that contribution, homie. And there's a couple codes remaining for that match arena. You can still contribute to that prize pool, and the winner of this match gets into that 4th place minimum, meaning that they'll have a slice of that pie. Now red right now getting mixed up by this Jacko. I know we've been memeing on Classified playing the secondary, but it's looking pretty good here in this round, trying to fight through this drone.
Look at the space, a great 2D usage so far. Gonna go ahead and get themselves a good counter hit combo, pushing RedIAmNot always corner. Bit of an unfortunate side switch there, actually. Definitely not intentional, which is definitely a big bummer if you're Classified then, because the simple combo routing, like, could have gotten that wall stick then, but Red pulled out the gun, and Classified had a homie ready, sent him in, and taking that first round. Good 5K, get ourselves started here. He staggered 5Ks. Has a pretty good reach on it for this Jacko, but there's gonna have to be that burst being spent. I take too much more damage from this knockdown on the Goldlewis, but who cares about essentially going back into negative or that danger zone if you have no burst to lose. But same side here again. What a cross through sequence. It definitely shows that like Classified probably has incredibly good trading partners who helped him get here. Shouts to like the ones of Nitro. I believe he plays with Joe Brownie a lot as well. So I'm sure he's got some great folks to get some good Jacko tech from, though I'm sure this character got maybe some new stuff coming into this version here. But Red doing their best to keep himself in the sequence again. Elysium Driver answered out on the big overhead. Not enough to quite do it, but at least get that hard knockdown. Guaranteed minion press. 5D on the overhead. No need for the attack command to keep it going. Classified answering back on the Jacko in this set.
Awesome stuff. All the doubters in chat, where you at? Nice stuff here from Classified. Man, she's so cute when the mask is off. You didn't hear me say that. Good stuff. 5D closing out the round. We're going into game 3. Gotta see how Red adjusts. Is Red going to get more belligerent, saying, hey, look, you're on the secondary. Let me just force my offense, or are we going to get more respectful here of this Jacko? We'll have to see.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a interesting MjKurase too. They've played so often in the Goldlewis and Giovanna matchup that, it doesn't mean that Red doesn't play against a lot of Jackos and understand what they do, but playing of players of this caliber, they might have a different way, a different option of piloting, different RPS choices for what they want to do with certain sequences. But Red so far was able to get the burst early, and now is the spooky spot to be in if you're Classified. Wow, that delayed air dash back into the JK. Look at this damage going through on Classified, going through that wall right now. Positively rolling through as well, but the double overhead able to take out this round, and Red off to a very good start so far in game 3.
Able to hold on to that full burst meter as well. Classified with the unsummon to try to get some of that meter back, to try to reset back up. The same side catches us. In fact, it's a counter hit. Red catching with that overhead BT, the drone, the follow-up as well. Classified send through, did get our burst, but look at the HP, man. Oh! Hands off the controller saying, hey, go next on that one.
Yeah, I guess the hill's a little bit too tall to climb, I guess, if you're Class. Definitely... I could say I understand it. Oh, looks like a bit of a controller issue.
Oh, just a controller issue. No worries,
yeah,
no worries.
Okay.
Either way, bro, no shame, bro. Go next on that one. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to judge.
Long for man, for sure. But still had access to full burst, had 50 tension as well to use. So there definitely is an avenue where I think Class would have done it. And, Class definitely someone who's willing to, I like to call scoop the deck when the set is over, kind of the quick Alt F4 into booting up whatever the off-stream game is. But, I understand their controller issues. Definitely not one you be experiencing when you are in the middle of an intense bracket, intense set as well. But our players here allowed to, in between these games, take a little bit of time here, whether it's to just kind of adjust yourself, get up, stretch a little bit here, hopefully fix that button, hopefully a really quick fix as well, because this set is absolutely delivering, and it's so cool to see Class doing this on another character. My favorite thing about Strive compared to some of the more long-standing Guilty Gears is that this is a game where picking up secondaries is a real plan. You could always do it in other games, of course, as well, but the game has a lot more homogenized aspects that helps it easier to transition other things, and hell, just pick it for matchups that you are looking for, and Class is clearly trying to do that here on this Jacko.
Good stuff. Great start. But the preemptive BT from Red slows down that pressure from Class, and look how the HP has been completely flipped. Even though Classified had a good start on the round, Red just killed you and oh my god, 10 seconds, bro.
Yeah, we were saying earlier that hey, isn't it crazy how much longer games are going? Yeah, Goldlewis hits a pixie character, hits a low health character, and you're definitely going to be seeing them take it to the next round quickly here. Wow, that double defense command proccing off of the explosion. Attempt the 5P here, but whistles back, gets those boys pulled back into the chamber. But unfortunately, this drone keeps a good backdash into that 2D. Keeps sequence going here. Keeps pushing Red all the way back to this corner. It's because we were just in the right side of the screen, and Class already has Red brought all the way over, but going back more to that mid-screen situation right now. These two Ps are so good at stuffing out these minions on the way in.
Real quick, big shout outs to MarkyD for another fat contribution, homie. Thank you so much, man. Bringing us up to that 401. What's my line? Great stuff out there. Dude, this prize pool is getting insane. Nice throw here from Classified to try to close out this round. Still set point for Red, but signs of life from this Jacko, and thank you very much, Marky.
Love that overhead. Simple JP, let the attack command, keep yourself plus on the way down. But Red is so comfortable when they need to press, when they need to fight back. Heck, even getting a trade there works out so well. But not have access to the hard knockdown despite the gun being there. You need to have that full chamber to get the hard knockdown. Minion get at least mashed out here from Red. These minions have just not been able to connect so far with Red, but good burst so far. Red is so close to being able to take out this set. If they can just clip class with one move, it could potentially be over. And a JH counter hit is a great start.
Wow, great stuff sending you through. Full security as well. That's like basically another tension meter, the way that Red uses those cancels. Classified trying to get out of that corner, but Red with that 2P anti-air. Got you with the 5D on the wake up. Good blocks. Deflect shield to push you back. Red RC to keep the turn.
Oh, same side this time. Good block on the overhead. One more hit could potentially be the end. Uses the deflect shield. Does not have to guess hard on that next sequence. Delayed into the low. Pressure keeps on coming through. Gets the simple run again. So it's another minion out here. Empty into the low. Ends up doing a bit of a countdown timer just to let it out, but no situation. Burst ends up being blocked. Not too far away to be able to connect anything. Tries to get on the throw. Not going to be able to get connected here. Sends a defense command again. Double defense command. Stops the explosion, but the behemoth puts out the wall, and class was so close to being able to take us to a game 5, but Red seals it out and takes it 3-1 over Classified's Jacko.
Awesome stuff right there. Red going to be moving on and guaranteeing our way into some of that prize pool, but not without putting on a show first. Classified looking good on that Jacko, man. Definitely a character we're gonna have to look out for in the future. If you're getting rounds, let alone games, off of RedIAmNot on a character on a secondary, there's a sign there. There's something to that, and I'm curious to see how that Jacko evolves from Classified side. That being said, y'all, no time to squander, because we're going back up to winner's side. It's going to be Jack up against Insert in this winner's finals.
Yeah, very excited to see how May navigates around this current version. And essentially what's was so interesting about previous version Happy Chaos, despite how, of course, egregiously strong he was, characters with really kind of like hyper quick movement. So I think about characters like May, like Chip, like Geo, like essentially could kind of outrun the reticle. You can't really outrun the reticle the same way you used to be able to. It locks on like after, I think it's like a set amount of seconds, I want to say now. And so essentially no matter how sporadic you are in the movement, eventually that thing will find you. You're going to have to deal with that follow-up. But here we go, y'all. First set of winners finals. We're about to say, and it is Jack versus Insert here. We'll go ahead. Immediate burst being spent out here by Insert, putting Jack to this corner. Curse no longer having access to that bounce, but good run under into the anti-air 5P. Dude, Jack is just built different, man.
Yeah, that string was nasty. It almost looked like it was about to be a wall break. Real quick, want to shout out my homie Idolo class for that massive raid before this match even started. Thank you so much, homie. Y'all shoot him a follow if you can, please. Shouts to Space Music if you know, you know. But Jack, talking about this winner's finals, no stranger to this spot. Usually up there in that grand finals, man. I got Jack on direct deposit, it feels like, every Friday, but Insert is going to be our challenger today. Nice fast RC 5D combo to put you back here in the corner. Trying to approach you with that S Dolphin. Does get a hit here, and Jack may potentially spend this burst if we get a little sticky in the situation again.
It is. Burst coming out here. Not wanting to take out that charge 6H from May. Definitely makes sense here. Do a little bit of 5H fishing right now, but all that's coming up is empty buttons to Dolphin. Goes up with that air. JP here keeping Jack locked in this corner. And no access to the burst so far. Despite Jack having so much control in the first part of this round, Insert's pressure and great routing able to at least take that first round here. And off to a great start. Still having access to that full burst.
Oh, I love that shot right there. Was able to get your focus back even after those portals. Jack got some pretty cool routing. Some pretty cool zoning patterns. Something you got to pay attention to with this new HC here in 2.0. Curse breaking the wall there. So funny that it's able to do that. Out of focus, though, so Insert taking advantage of that.
And you have to, like, essentially not only do you have to watch resources of yourself, also your opponent, but these there it is again. The Dolphin bunker coming in heavy here. Good chunk of damage and giving May Grex here, but a great 6P from Jack. Gonna stop Insert's Dolphin attempt then from more of that neutral situation. Curious if the burst going to come out. Not quite ready for the immediate burst from Jack here. Pushing Insert back to that full screen. He'll do it, but good answer so far. Gets the RC connected here, and Insert gonna get game 1. That health bar absolutely dwindling, but Insert not afraid to swing, press when they need to here, and you see it right after this sequence. Gets clipped by that there. Jack tries to send out the gun last second, but the Dolphin was already there. The bottlenose knocking you off. and good stuff to insert. Putting a game on the board already, and we know we're in for a banger set.
Yeah, Jack almost ran away with that one with that curse ball to kill as well. Insert definitely, you know, getting a little lucky there with that pixel. Some great play to finish it off. Close slash getting answered with that burst right away. Jack keeping you down here. Jack saying, hold it. Okay, hold on. Let me show you how broken this character is in 2.0. I'm gonna keep you down regardless. Full screen blocking out these gunshots, the zoning patterns. You're gonna have trouble trying to get through them out here. Jack doing a good job of building up that tension. Could potentially see a focus super in the near future. Insert trying to say, hey, how do I even get out of this?
That's not hype, chat. This not hype. No, oh no, not the backdash getting caught here. I'm seeing the situation. You seem to be able to backdash essentially the bullet that kind of keeps you locked down. But I imagine there's some delayed timings. I know he doesn't have to send the bullets out of the portal as well. So this sequence feels so, I mean, essentially, you know, I don't want to say impossible to interact. It does require the person piloting the Happy Chaos to do it. But this is Jack on Happy Chaos, right? So you know essentially he is like hitting it probably 99 times out of 100, and he is only choosing to not follow up with the bullets when he wants to. But there we go. Good run up throw on Jack, pushing them through this wall here. Again, good chunk of damage coming through, and Positive going to be rolling in. Can access that 50 pretty darn quickly, even after that immediate Dolphin. Multiple overheads blocked out, but a good 5H catching out Jack, pressing a 2K on the answer here. And despite it looking pretty dooming for Insert in that first round, they find such a good answer back here in round 2. Get into that round 3 already, but uh-oh, it's Happy Chaos time.
I mean, Insert doing a good job of trying to fight around those clones, especially that 5K jump cancel a moment ago. But despite that, Jack was able to get these shots out, got your back to the wall. Holding on to that tension so far, trying to build up that 50. Jack catching on to that a bit. Insert with some good just blocks here, trying to prevent some of that damage. Does get caught. Still trying to build up that tension, however. I'm looking at Jack with the 100. Insert does get a chance to fight here with that far slash, but Jack pulls up with the preemptive button, the red RC to see the burst, and at this point, you're dead to rights. Unless Insert has a Hail Mary with this 50 tension. The YRC, probably not what we expected.
I'm curious if they're looking for some sort of maybe like BRC4 to take some momentum into it there, but maybe YRC was necessary. And I you know, I'm so essentially very new to experiencing like if there is any like how do you notice when you are allowed to do it? You know, I saw some like weird IED tech over certain aspects of the portal, but it feels like if they want to, they can lock you down as long as the execution check is there. So good stuff to Jack, just, you know, showing us the new power of 2.0 Happy Chaos here, a game apiece. But Insert definitely still keeping that game 2 very close. Getting to round 3. I'm hoping we get 5 games of these two.
Oh, counter hit Dolphin taking it down the screen. Counter hit close slash. Jack spending that burst right away, and we're back at it. Oh shit! Here we go again. Insert. Not having that 50 yet, gonna have to build up. Does get some distance up here, and that's the zoning pattern, right? Like if you are able to cheat up just a little bit, one dash block through Jack doing a focus reload, right? That's all you need to get him antsy, and it pays off. Insert gonna be able to send you through. It's not easy, and you're not gonna be able to do it every time, but Insert finds those moments.
Yeah, this feels like some very true, like what you need to have, like the patience to fight a zoner, right? You know, and this is obviously a bit of a zoner from hell right now, but there is that access to that high-low off of the jump cancel RC. But Insert finding the hit they are looking for, getting the great RC cancel. Beautiful routing to go up in this first round here. And Jack, great 5K stopping off of that Dolphin cancel, but a reversal throw. Throw incident here, keeping Jack pushing this corner. Another throw again. Throw loops here. Try to get a bit of a shimmy, but Jack usually not one to get caught by shimmy options here. Actually ends up blocking out. We were so ready for Insert having access to that meter. But about 40-some% damage coming in, pushing you back to full screen, and you are now stuck in portal hell. When are you able to get out? Somebody call GLaDOS. This is unfair.
Under tension on Jack's side as well. I'm not going to need it with this chip damage on these gunshots. Insert trying to get those just blocks, trying to get up. 50 spent on the focus. And at that point, your HP is so low. I mean, you got to be a cyborg to play through that round.
Jack doing a good thing, closing that one out. The 5K anti-air on the other side gets a wall break for it too. My God.
That's Jack, baby. Jack just, no matter how many times they change this character, I think I've heard people talking about it, or at least people who are close to Jack. Like, Jack will play this character even if he is bottom one. Like, you know, I imagine there's a version of this character where you find maybe a better counterpart to work with in a tournament level, but you know, he very, very much enjoys what Happy Chaos has to offer. But there's that burst pushing Insert back to that full screen game plan again. Trying to get some dash blocking here so far. Insert just doing their best to try to get enough space to be able to answer something. But the worst part is if you are wrong at this mini game, you start all over again. And the shots keep happening. The meter is burning down here. When will it end, Jeek? The bullets just keep on flying. Insert just trying to find it out. Somebody call Daisuke. What do we do here?
Oh, man. Okay, dude. Arc System Works, they just released Ilsa. It's a Grand Blue character with a gun mechanic, and she has a full reload as well. And I remember feeling like, well, at least HC only reloads one at a time. What happened, bro? What happened? Where did we go, man?
That's where the one guy says, that's not hype, you know?
That's not hype?
That's not hype. Like, you know, like, it's just... Jack is, and I appreciate at least, you know, they've already announced that essentially this is not intended. I'm very curious what they have to change to make this not work, which also could do something else to this character, but Jack at least showing essentially what the current version of this demon gunslinger is right now. And burst being spent already on Insert, but it's like, who cares? You just get to put them in the game plan again. HE already won off burst in the previous version. We're still living in that hell now.
Insert trying to climb out of it. And you were right, by the way. I remember I saw the backdash on when Classified tried doing it earlier, but you're right. Insert is trying to backdash that last shot to try to get to a point where we can interact. And dude, if anyone's going to do it, if anyone's going to make it work, it's going to be Insert here on this May. That cross up 5K, almost taking us here to the corner. The reversal actually connecting on Jack and gets the kill. Oh my gosh. Jack's been sniffing out those reversals, but not this time.
Before Insert definitely having the ability to get rounds in these games that Jack has been able to take it, but essentially just eventually putting Insert in these sequences. And like, you know, in fairness to Jack, like, it's not like you can just start off every single round with this infinite gunshot sequence, that you have to press the good normals. And we all know that HE's got some great normals behind this character, but putting them out at the right spots are very important. So Jack definitely getting, you know, the reward for putting the work in, but it can feel so one-sided when you have to sit there and just watch this character continue to sling it out at you. Insert not going to likely spend that burst. No way here. And now Jack finding themselves on set point with that round. But Insert definitely a round away themselves to take us to a game 5, hopefully. But the burst having to be spent. Otherwise, you're going to go through that wall, and Positive going to start railing in for this Happy Chaos. But now here it is again. We saw this a bunch before. Insert trying to find their way to kind of dash block it here too. Try to stand with the Dolphin, but once again, you can't quite outrun it like you used to. It will lock on eventually. When does it seem to end? It just keeps on going, bullet after bullet here. Somebody help Insert, let them out.
And with that clone in your face too, even though Insert got that chance to pull up, wasn't able to get much out of it. Jack whiffing, punishing that Dolphin with the gun. No focus to shoot back. Insert with a good air throw to start here. Tried to bait out potentially a gold burst from Jack there on the wake up. Spends the red RC to try to get this HC in the corner. The gold burst does come out. Insert full screen. Doesn't have enough tension for an RC, so you have to play perfectly here on this defense. Try to stuff you out with that 2K. Jack getting caught by Farslash with a punish. Tried it, the whiff 6P. Insert with an OTG, not enough to kill.
Oh my gosh, as if he went backwards for a sec too, but held up right at the end. But the 5D empty behind it. There was no meter to cancel that, and we know Jack has the answer dialed in after. And despite it all, the infinites, the never-ending portals, a weird back-hitting 6P that might have been able to answer it, and Insert is bringing us to the promised land of Game 5, and I'd rather have it any other place than winners finals here. Insert showing some counterplay to work around this new version of Happy Chaos, but man, is it like an uphill battle, Jeek.
Yeah, you definitely got to try out here. I mean, you weren't going to be able to beat Jack without putting your best game face on, regardless of what patch we were on. This is an AWT champion out here. Jack shooting you down, putting you in this corner. The backdash getting clipped. Jack catching on to Insert, going for that defensive play, but this time went for the early shot. Insert read wrong and now got Deus Ex for it.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be. And like I look forward to essentially like if this is still counterplay first mechanic without there being an infinite tag behind it, because like, you know, essentially it's showing that HE also has an answer to the thing that you can do to potentially get around these bullets. But Insert here, you know, yeah, you get the burst out of Jack, but your health bar keeps whittling. This zoning just ever relentless. Tension almost able to get to that 50. Okay, so it's a great spot to be in right now if you're Insert. Jack has to fight back with these normals or maybe even a YRC, but 2S to get us started. Tries to go for the bait on the burst. Insert not going to take any of that bait. And once again, Jack finding themselves on set point, getting potentially into that winner side of Grands. Whoever can take this here, Insert doing their best to keep it out, but the gonna have to spend the burst, but gets clipped out by that 2S. Dolphin gonna clip out again. Another 2S to get herself started. No side switch combo, but this is where you want to have your opponent stuck in bean. Deus Ex can go through. Not a lot of concentration to work with though, so it'll be a little bit slower here for Jack after that wall break.
And the hard knockdown as well catches you with the J2K. Insert probably trying to backdash out that meaty jump in. Jack gonna curse wall you through. Insert does have 50 tension to play with here, and a 5H on the round start, clapping back with some damage. Jack getting this burst, but in a hard knockdown situation.
Yeah, look at that. 60% of your health bar immediately gone. Good stuff to Insert, keeping themselves here in this game 5 right now. Will we get a final game, final round moment? We can only hope so at this point. Good YRC on that roll through. I'm trying to have it. Jack, will we spend up the burst if it gets clipped here? The air throw to stuff it, then off the Dolphin cancel. And Jack says no. He says you'll have to come. Making these brackets feel extra sweaty. You know the players appreciate it as well. And I always wonder, you know, as someone who essentially will never kind of be in these players' shoes, do you feel that change of the winds when you see that pot begin to grow? It's no longer just a free online bracket. Now there's big money to be won as well. Will you make the same choices with that cash on the line? But good stuff to Red right now, having MJ push all the way to this corner immediately. Bursting, not only let them out here, Gold Burst to answer back again. And we are off to a good start so far of this loser semis.
Oh, the deep vault deal there. Red gets a punish throw, putting MjKurase here into the corner with that drone. Building up 50 to go for super here. Even with where our tension is, the meter penalty may mean it may take a second here to get this 50. And with no security cancel quite yet, the YRC pushes back this Goldlewis. MjKurase gets a chance to play.
Good, awesome, dude. Get that card pop then. Good routing here. Get that wall stick. No super to be able to meter to break with super. So back to more of that neutral point. But Posible's rolling in. But, you know, hey, if you don't know what to do, Goldlewis send down the laser before you, another gold burst here. The second gold burst of this round for MJ as well. So good IBFD, getting a lot of space built out between yourself and this Johnny, but that up card getting guard crushed here. Burst gonna be able to answer back. Burst spent on both sides, so the next hit will likely be the one who's gonna get that first round, and letting the drone push back, catches MJ on a backdash with that behemoth.
Oh, massive bar slash start here from Red, putting MjKurase down with this throw after as well. Nice backdash there on that jump in. Gives MjKurase a chance to play, unfortunately missing that finder. I love the 6P Clash K finder there from MjKurase.
Yeah, and you have to be able to answer back Goldlewis when you don't have like a built-in reversal in some of these sequences, and understanding which of the behemoths are actually interactable with your potential disjointed buttons. Good routing here, spotted by MJ. Gonna put them through the wall, put up the J here. Just get that hard knockdown, then set out that card. And let's see what the mix will end up being. MJ does have 50 as well, and there it was. Took advantage of that option immediately. I think we're going to be in an era of like breaking the wall will still feel absolutely terrifying with super if he still got that 50 to spend it again. But these backdashes are being absolutely clipped by Red so far.
Oh, okay, is able to press out with that 2P, but it got a little tricky there in the corner. Luckily, MjKurase didn't have to spend that burst, so is still sitting pretty with that mechanic. Gets the throw, gonna reposition the card, but spending the gold burst. Ganny, I don't know if you noticed it, bro, but gold burst is just in the air, man. So many players opting for that one, it feels.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a change where, you know what it feels like? It's maybe less that gold burst is happening more often by choice, but I think it's just now that they made the change where if you do a burst input, there's a certain amount of frames on your wake up. It guarantees gold burst if you are holding forward, I believe, with that burst. So, you know, I think it's a lot more easier to get the intentional gold burst, and that 5H getting clipped out. Look at this route from Red here, just juggling this poor Johnny like he's a damn balloon. It never seems to end. YRC gets the space. Great 5H, but no full pickup. Already dialed in. That card being dealt out here. And a good recognition by Red. The burst meter was coming back here for MJ and sends it out with the super and gets game one.
Man, I did like this setup from MjKurase. You'll probably see it in the replay here. Was able to keep Red down even after that counter hit with that guard crush, but Red just holding up, confident to get out of that corner. Not even giving MjKurase that chance to burst. It's going to be the first game going to this Goldlewis, but a close game nonetheless. And if you guys are liking what you're seeing, exclamation point match arena to click some more of those claim codes, add them to the pot. Counter hitting here with these BTs. MjKurase gonna get bounced around by that drone, but gets rewarded with a chance to get that back throw after. Man, Red holding up right there. MjKurase not able to get that 2S out in time, and now this Goldlewis got you cornered.
Where you want to be here, but MJ get a little bit of space right now, but ends up dash canceling in to the fist of the Secretary of Defense himself. Puts it out, stops the again. Another far slash calling out MJ's choices. MJ still backdashing like Johnny had a backdash of old, but you gotta hold a bit of that space. Definitely able to utilize it here, but unfortunately, getting right back down to the ground again. Deflection will get a bit of good Insenga to be able to counter hit. Again, I should say, good 6K, I should say, to get that knockdown. Good option here. Gonna get that card pop then. Keep right stuck in this corner. That JK, sorry, the 5K into the high-low sequence again. Hard knockdown, positive rolling through here. We're gonna send out that laser. 6H does connect, that's all we get. Backdash being caught again by Behemoth, but the safe jab 2P coming out here. Put MJ through the wall with this super. Not gonna be enough to kill, but he is gonna be hurting as we go through this wall here.
MjKurase does have some meter to spend, opting to put it on the FD, but the anti-air BT from Red very confidently is going to get us this game too.
And Red here just looking basically, you know, very largely in control. MJ kind of having to like really put themselves out there, pick out some kind of odd sequencing too, but these IBs from Red just keeping MJ at these spacings that are allowing really strong counterattacks for these coming in here. So we'll have to see if MJ once again, and now MJ has gone down 0-2 in essentially every set they've played so far tonight, but at least in the recent one, they were able to get the reverse sweep. Will we see it against Red? So far, off to a very good start for Red. What a good side switching JK as well. Well, good job by MJ to fight back with a 2P, but a 6P stopping MJ's attempt to be able to get some control on the set. JD pushing themselves out the good answer with that 2S. Pushing back more of that full screen game plan here. Does not get the card pop to actually connect. This recognition here, good block on the overhead. These players are playing out of their mind right now, Jeek.
You're going to need to be a whole another level of sicko if you're going to be able to make it through this bracket, through the killers in front of you, including the ones on the screen. But right now we're focusing on this problem right here. It's going to be MjKurase getting this hard knockdown here on Red, put down by that card crush, spends the gold burst to get through some of those meaty finers, has a lot of tension to spend and opts to do it on the burn it down, but the run up super from MjKurase getting blocked out.
oh man, like you can feel like MJ is like so close to finding what they need to be able to answer Red's pressure. Great counter hit 5H routing here, taking advantage of essentially carrying over those extra frames into that missed finder there. Good pickup then, good hard knockdown, almost 50% on the big body of Goldlewis. But MJ keeping Red kind of stuck in this corner here. 6H starter. Definitely what you want to be seeing if you are cheering for MJ. Gonna put them through the wall. Another J being thrown up here again. Hard knockdown about to come through. No full burst for Red quite yet. Doesn't have access to that 50 tension though.
Could see a burst in the near future potentially from Red. No, wisely holds on to it here as MjKurase got you slashed up in the corner to even up the round. Still set point out here for Red on this Goldlewis. Gets the jump in, that 2K connects. MjKurase spends the burst, but a preemptive far slash puts you back down.
Yeah, blocked up the overhead. Bit of a trade moment then. Doesn't go too bad. Good connecting on that finder, but takes some space. But a good IAD with the behemoth here by Red. At least keeps MJ stuck in this corner. Good block on the overhead. Another good block on the low, but the 2K gonna stuff you out again on any foot jump option. But we are stuck in this corner. It is Goldlewis time, baby. Guess high, guess low. Gonna have to try to push it out here. Answer back eventually in a good far slash to get yourself started. Red not biting on that shimmy attempt. Good block on the crossover, and Senga here is gonna net Red the set. Taking it 3-0 over MjKurase, moving on to losers finals, and damn. Yeah, definitely a change of pacing of what we saw in the previous set with Insert, where you're kind of sitting there like waiting for that right moment to maybe backdash a bullet to get to play the game again, whereas now he's got to navigate around those giant behemoths here. But let's see how Insert can handle these typhoons. But hey, we saw some guns in the previous set. There's one more gun to still worry about in this one, unfortunately, Insert.
FD block pushing you back, trying to survive these BTs. That overhead clipping us here, though, and the drone sends us through. Oh, my gosh. Actually not being able to connect with that first BT. Some weird stuff happening. The 6B trying to be preemptive, but Insert gets a chance to fight in here. The lows getting blocked. What was that gold burst?
Yeah, I got nothing for you on that one there. If it was intentional, maybe trying to gold burst out one of the up dolphin options. Maybe it was just like a hold forward into JD and then end up dialing in like one of the new inputs for essentially for burst in this version. But hey, we brought it down here enough to stop this. Man, who needs our burst meter? We still got the round, baby. It was worth.
Man. Red using 100 meter to kill your ass right there, and the far slash being a good whiff punish to get this round start here. This getting caught on the low there. Insert fighting out with that 3K, catching it with this stagger close slash as well. Red going to be taking some damage over here in the corner, actually taking more than half your HP. Good routing from Insert.
Yeah, I love that there. May definitely very key point. So it actually ends up missing off of that RC connect, and a good block on the overhead keeps the sequence going with that. But oh my gosh, we were so ready for that burst. Red definitely reading the moment. Insert was looking to get some tension back and some spacing back here, but Red taking a pretty confident first game here, despite a little bit of that oopsie on that burst in the air before. But yeah, Red definitely no stranger to being in top threes, top twos, and heck, taking plenty of brackets for their own. So I'm sure they are looking to have a good run at Jack. Should they take it here? But we know Insert, who was very close to honestly taking Jack down there 3-2 in that winner's final set. Definitely check it out on the YouTube if you guys missed it before you came in here. But here we go, getting into game 2 right now. But hey, we talked about it all night, y'all. Goldlewis 2K. Are you ready to beat it? If the answer is no, we wish you good luck.
Oh, man. The OTG spend, just getting more of that damage here. Good just box there from Insert, but the block on that reversal. Red comes out on top, building up that tension. Won't even need a lot to finish this one off. 50 spent to send Insert through in this first round. Great start there from RedIAmNot.
Yeah, I mean, there is some incredibly strong pressure in this game, and as someone who took advantage of a 100-meter reversal super into RC, whether it's hit or blocked, to basically get a guaranteed jail out of free card. We got a jail free card to say. I'm glad it's gone. Like, as soon as I saw Insert there, like, essentially not be able to connect that super, I was like, yeah, and Red gets the round now. This is crazy how different the game feels in these answers, but Insert doing such a good job here in round 2, making Red hurt for it then, but Red find that 2K hit. Good fuzzy jump, keeps you safe from that side switch. JH here as well. Push the ball way to that corner. Get that knockdown here. Good throw attempt again. Sets out the drone to keep it meaty. 5D RC into the thick, slashing back. Gets another round for themselves. Another game for themselves here. And Red is one game away from being able to take on Jack, sitting there comfy in the winner's side of Grands. But, you know, we know Insert definitely capable of being able to answer back against Red. But, you know, this can be tough, right? You find these close rounds, not able to quite cinch it out. And now you have to be able to fight back tooth and nail 3 more times. A reverse sweep to be able to get your rematch. Let's see if Insert can do it.
I mean, anything can happen, bro. 5 people in the top 8 today have won a Jeekly bracket before. 4 of them are in the top 4. So it could be any of these players. Jack, of course, very confidently up in that grand final spot, but if it's going to be anyone taking him out, it's the people on the screen right now. Red with a very great start, layering this drone pressure. It's going to be the Street Fighter 6 keeping you down in the corner, and the 2K catches you with a punish. Red with a very strong, perfect round, just about to put us on set point.
Yeah, here it just feels like Red's just pressure has been very tough for Insert to be able to kind of stop and pull out here, but you know, we've all been stuck in the corner before, having to block high, low behemoths, you know, resetting with 5Ks again. 2K pressure here. Good combo recognition from Red, and this is looking like such a Red sweep right now, going into this potentially final round of losers finals here. Insert missing a bit of that left-right sequence again. Fights out with the 2K. I don't think we can finish our food. It might be enough. It absolutely is, and just like that, RedIAmNot going to take it 3-0 over Insert and move on to Grand Finals.
We'll see what this HC with this Goldlewis has in store.
I was agreeing. Nothing ever happens. Grand Finals. It's a tale as old as time, but we love that these competitors still keep coming out, and it's great how often they are making it to the Jeekly to be able to show off what they have here. And I am very curious how a character who is slow like Goldlewis gets to navigate around the monstrosity that is this sequence right here. I can picture like May having the awkward movement to work around some of these potential portals, but yeah, Jack just like, what do you do? I am genuinely I'm searching my brain as a commentator right now. I haven't seen a lot of the new version of this Happy Chaos, but I cannot imagine this is where you want to be in this sequence. Okay, a bit of a normal being pressed for the first time, it feels like, in about 30 seconds here. And build up enough is the sequence. Does build up meteor to build laser and eventually force this character to run at you?
The game plan, Ganyon, is we let the match play out and we send the clip to Arxis and we let them figure it out. But no, for real, Red does have a very competent Nago secondary that you could potentially see. But I mean, no shade. Let's just be honest. You're right, Ganyon. Goldlewis is going to have a really, really hard time getting in here. So I'm already thinking about game 2, to be honest. We'll have to see potentially if we swap to the Nago, or maybe the game plan is build up that security, build up the tension, burn it down, and punish Jack on the approach.
Yeah, but man, it's like, and essentially you're trying to see. There we go. The counterplay is in the backdash, and at least Goldlewis has access to the Skyfish to be able to get that hard knockdown then. I love that Jack actually ends up doing that roll. Not able to keep the sequence going, but at least pushes Red a little bit closer to the corner on the right side of the screen. And when will that burst come out right now? Jack continuing to keep Red zoned down here. It's funny. It feels like he's like Jack is zoning Red from like mid-screen, like you just, it feels full screen, but it's like this character just feels so egregious right now when you have stuff dialed in. And I know there's an execution barrier with what he has to do, but this just feels so tough to climb in this version. Even getting a trade there and it can't work out in your favor. And Jack taking a dominant game 1.
I mean, I did like some of those answers that we had, right? I didn't even think about the backdash Skyfish, but you're right. That is a great answer as well, potentially from Red. Getting a chance to build up some of that tension, can do the burn it down as well. We'll see. Okay, so there are some signs of life there on the Goldlewis.
It looks like red may commit to that choice. Yeah, as we go here into this game too. Gonna see what we can do here, guys, while you're watching. Still a few codes remaining. This is your last match to claim those, to add them to the prize pool. Big thanks to everyone who did those direct contributions. And you can help contribute as well to the players 100% of the prize pool. Good round start here from red. Got to stay on top of this HC. Can't let them have any chance to push you back.
Yeah, I was about to say something a little controversial here. Let's give Goldlewis back white wall assault, but only against Happy Chaos.
In this matchup, exactly.
Right, exactly. Like, at least there's something he's allowed to do. Like, I'm not his #1 fan as a character, but, like, this feels rough to watch here. But at least so far in this set, yes, sending out the laser. You're going to get hit anyway, but the mix is ready. And if you can make Jack block, you definitely have a chance. But we are slowly getting pushed away. Even if you block it out, the space is continuing. The FBRC taking the momentum to try to drive their way in, but can't quite find it. The knockdown coming through here. Red probably has one more chance to do it, but tries it out on a Skyfish. The Goomba Stomp is ready. Gonna put you through the wall with the Deus Ex Machina. And this is looking pretty tough for red, because I don't imagine Jack is gonna make their way in if they can avoid it here. There was so much respect, and we actually baited out the burst too. Jack has taken red soul.
Oh my god. Otherwise an amazing round right there, but Jack coming out on top. Now got your back to the wall. Look at the zoning pattern. I mean, it's not like we're just pressing the same buttons every time. We are mixing up this zoning pattern because red has shown us we have that backdash Skyfish answer. So Jack over here trying to be frame perfect with some of those inputs, moving those portals around, catching red here and using the red RC to confirm. Trying to keep you back, building up that security. At this point, Jack does get caught by that Skyfish, and with the level 2, we get a chance to pull up.
Potential chances that there's light at the end of the tunnel, but a boulder might have just fallen in front of it here. Send your prayers, whatever you believe in. Do your best to give red a chance to keep the set looking here. But Jack trying to take their way through. I think they were trying to roll past to get out of the laser. Just got clipped. They're ready for the air throw. Jack up 2 games already here in grand finals. Red would not even only be able to reverse sweep here to take us to that reset bracket, or reset set, I should say. But man, like, this just looks like such an uphill battle that, you know, it feels like any character that doesn't have good sporadic movement, like, you might be able to unironically call this like a 7-3 against Jack. This looks rough.
And I mean, we got to give him his flowers, right? Jack, of course, very rather consistently getting up to these top spots. It's not just the HC, y'all. You're coping if so. Putting this red down here, trying to get out. You got that level 2 security, looking for that chance to go for that backdash, but Jack gonna mix up that zoning pattern a bit, going for some early focus recalls, but there it was. Red able to get that backdash, getting the Skyfish, pulling up here on Jack, but actually with the wake up 2P.
Just when you thought you had the answer, Jack has the next one lined up, and now you're back. You found a way out, and you were just, it feels like deja vu. You can tell me this is game 1 again, and I'd believe you here. They're gonna come through again, get the wall thing too, and FRC's to cancel to not get clipped by the laser. Jack is just so ready on how they want to counterplay this Goldlewis, and is so close to being your Jeekly 92 champion of 2.0, but red is gonna have to find some answer here, but we're so far away from 50 ourselves. Able to send out the drone, but we're in the corner. Jack can just backdash off here.
And caught you with that curse ball as well. Try to get that BT out in time. Does connect our burst. Gets another drone out here. Jack with a good jump over, blocking out that low BT, but clipped on your backdash. Red gets a chance here to run some of this Oki. Jack holding that JD, blocking out these BTs, FDing to try to push back this Goldlewis, jailed into the corner. Red getting our BT backdash, but Jack put back into the corner. Nice burst.
Here up Again, sends it out with the burn it down. They get clipped though for their gun tech. Can't put the gun away in time. And there is some signs of life in this set between these two from Red. Finding the right moment to let the laser do the work for him here. Jack definitely, needs to kind of be a little bit more ready and keep an eye on this meter. But it just feels like I said, this is probably the hardest I feel like I've seen Goldlewis have to work in a while. And it's not to say he doesn't necessarily probably have some rough matchups here, but this looks so tough when you don't have the best mobility in this game. And great routing here, gets all the bullets back. Deus Ex coming out to put out a good chunk of damage. And Jack is just a few hits away from being your champion again. But can Red find the way to get out? That's with an FD. Coming through here. Gonna get it off on the 6K. One more laser. Will this be enough to do it? Keeps them jailed in here. But that was so messed up. The overhead's coming through. Blocks that sequence there. 2K gets the hit started. Whiffs it out on the behemoth. Curse gonna clip down for it again. One more shot can do it. It just could be another hit. And there it is. And just like that, the Gunslinger Messiah themselves, Jack, your AWT champion, is also the Jeekly 92 champion.
Exclamation Point League. Sign up for the 4v4 Team Battle Tournament Series. It's back this summer. 8 weeks of Guilty Gear. Would love to have you playing in it. Jeekly's every Friday. Locals on Thursday. Other than that, y'all, have a great weekend. Peace out.